how's it going? I did part of the homework for the stream. I didn't do the rest. I figured that I would be able to find this Alex Reed Tarot, her new account, but like, I don't, I'm having trouble finding it. Let's see if I can find it. Jesus Christ. Oh, is this it? See, that's gone now too. Does she just keep deleting her accounts? Okay. Well, I wanted to like look at what she was saying, but okay, we'll get to it and I'll explain. But if anyone knows her new account, let me know, because all these ones are like not found. They're like saying not found. But hello, we have Douglas, Girly. I'm gonna zoom in so I can read this a bit better. T-Bags, hey. Joan, hey. Heather, as well. Perfect timing. Just got out of work. Nice. So, oh yeah, I have an energy drink. Let's do an energy drink. Well, yeah, I mean, like, she started apparently preaching, and like most people didn't have a problem with her until she started preaching, and apparently she was saying some shit about tarot being evil and all that, like, you know, saying all that. But like, I'm just like, I want to see what she said. You know what I mean? I just want to see what she said, but I can't find the freaking video. What's the date on this one? 3 weeks ago? We could try this video. It might work. This is some guy reporting on it. I don't know what he's saying, so. Do we have this one? Okay. We will try to do some research. We have time. We have to finish up that one video, so we have time to try to find it. I sent out a message as well to Luna, because she was part of the tarot and all that community back in the day. Alex reads Bible or something now. Okay. Alex reads Bible. Let's see if I can find this.
Just to be clear, I don't think anyone is attacking Alex Reed's Tarot. I certainly didn't in my last video. If you think I was, it's because...
Okay, I think that this might be some... Wait, is this drama?
Because you're soft and I'm abrasive. I actually think it's good that she's going through...
Okay, we might watch this stuff too. We might have to watch someone else reporting on her. Oh, quiet. Copyright. Okay. Alex reads Bible. Let's see if we can find her. Oh, okay. I think I found it. Okay. I think this is her now. Okay. Okay, I think I found it. We're good. We're good. I did some homework, but I definitely did not do all the homework required for the stream. Okay. All right. Thank you for the jewels as well, for the high five. Yeah. You don't see my screen. Yeah, I'll show it to you guys in a second. The level's good. Okay, yeah. Hey, Queen of Karma. Oh, hey, Queen of Karma. How's it going? All right. Let's jump in. Okay, so what we're doing, hey, Mew and the Raven, can't stop long caring for my dad at the moment. Yeah, no worries. I totally understand. I know what that's like. All right, so what we're doing is we're doing like part 2. So we did a stream. Also, my fan is on. Let me know if it's too loud for you guys. We did a stream last week where we started reviewing the witch talk drama happening over on TikTok. And like, it's all based on this Alex Reed's tarot, quitting the tarot for Christianity. She's Christian now and all that stuff, right? So the thing that I was really presenting last week was, it's not really about Alex. It was about the way witch talk community just like lost their shit, and they were like attacking one another, and the drama was insane. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue. We have about halfway through the last video. And then we're going to take a look at Alex Reed's tarot, because they hadn't talked about Alex Reed's tarot. Like we lost the plot a while ago. So we're going to circle back. We're going to see what's going on with Alex Reed's tarot. And I want to take a look at what Kellyanne Maddox said. She still didn't make a video, at least when I looked yesterday. Let me double check. She still hasn't made anything on this. I don't know if she will. It looks like Alex's read tarot, like she changed her name multiple times on here. So, yeah. So, oh, she did make a video, I think, before Alex started preaching. So maybe if we can watch a bit of that too, because I really like Kelly and Maddox, especially if you're like trying to explore more about like witchcraft and stuff. I really recommend her channel. She gets into like a lot of detail about witchcraft, and she's very open. Like, you know, you don't have to be rigid. You don't have to be rigid. You don't have to have all these rules. You don't have to do things certain ways. You practice how you want to practice for you. And like, so I really like her. Like, she's very down to earth and reasonable with everything, right? She does do tarot readings and all that too. And that's not really why I follow her. I follow her because I like her, the way that she presents about witchcraft. She's very fair. Whereas like with me, I tend to, I like, she has taught me to be more open about other types of witchcraft and stuff, which I should have been, because mine is very eclectic anyway. But like, I do get a little bit like, I've always gotten like a little bit iffy about ones that are always trying to like summon a demon and stuff. And I'm kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I always had a problem with that stuff. But I also never really liked black magic practitioners either. Like, they can exist, but I don't care for them, because I think that putting out bad in the world isn't good. But you don't hear the fan? All right, cool, cool. I mean, I probably would when I play it back, but it's fine. All right, we're going to pop into a window here. Let's bring up the camera. Okay. And I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good old day. Okay. I think for the most part, my head, like, it was okay. I think it, because I had the red in my hair for the camera to recognize properly where the lines are. But if I get like a little bit too iffy or whatever, like what's the word? Like if my head starts like going all over, just let me know, and I'll put like, because I have a green, very large green like material that I bought for the green screen, so I can throw that behind me if need be. All right. Hey, Ken, how's it going? Okay, so we're going to bring this one up again.
Crap sandwiches the internet has been serving me since I dared to speak out against a man threatening. In perspective, you were saying this about someone who called someone a bitch and said,
okay, how is that for her levels there? And just a reminder with this video here, essentially this other person, Sag something, she got involved in the witch talk drama. She was trying to help that Charm, who has been attacked by like all the witches. Like, it's been wild. You can watch my last stream. So he approached her to get help for like how to properly apologize, because he felt like, you know, well, he was told he was being misogynistic, and he like, you know, and offended women, and he wanted help to like try to resolve the issue, right? He doesn't want to like run away from it. He was trying to like apologize in the right way and trying to learn. And then the Sag woman helped him, but then turned on him and like did these videos saying that he like coerced her friend into giving her phone number to him, which then he proved that no, she gave it to him last year. And then she's saying that he was like threatening if she didn't like write this apology for him. It's crazy. Yeah. There's another tarot reader on YouTube who put the cards away and lead into Christianity. Yeah, just like, it's such a big deal because Alex Reads Tarot is kind of like the original like TikTok tarot reader kind of deal. So she's like the big popular one. So the levels are good. Okay, cool. Okay. So we are going to watch the rest of this video, and then we'll stop for commentary, and then we'll take a look at the stuff going on online. I want to take a look at her TikTok account, and then I want to show you guys the Instagram post that Kellyanne Maddox did about Alex, because Alex apparently now is like, you know, trying to convert people and saying that the occult is evil and like tarot's gonna whatever, demons, blah 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 blah. You know, usual crap that we hear from radicalized Christians, right? So.
jump off of a bridge after she quite literally like hit the first freaking punch, you know what I mean? And so saying that like this community needs to be safe from abusers, all of these videos that she has made is just twisting him into be this big bad wolf, this big scary monster that everyone needs to be afraid of, this big dangerous black man that everyone needs to be afraid of, when in reality someone attacked him and misrepresented his character. He called them a bitch and a hoe and to jump off of a bridge. And again, here is another video, me eating the
and just a reminder, like, he's gay and he called them a bitch and a hoe. I'm sorry, but like, if you've had any gay best friends, like the male gay best friend, they say bitch all the time. Like, it's a term of endearment, right? And hoe is also a term of endearment. It's not like they took his words knowing that he's not saying it in a bad way, right? Like the jump off the bridge thing is what he did wrong. 100%. But like the bitch and hoe thing, they like took it and they overreacted, right? Just like, you know, I guess an example like what happened to me, right? I called someone white and then I'm being called racist. I'm white. Okay, like, come on.
the crap sandwiches the internet has been serving me. Another video, me eating the crap sandwiches the internet has been serving me since I dared to speak out against a man threatening to shove a hook up a woman's ass. Now, if you remember from the previous video, I did briefly mention this, and there were other videos. I swear there were other videos of Sag Moon like threatening this claim more, and maybe it was said in that original video that she posted that is no longer up, but essentially she is accusing Charm of perpetuating rape threats against Ruby Magdalene because he said a phrase which we learned in the previous video was just him speaking with AAVE that was completely twisted and spun by a white woman to make him look worse. Again, refer back to part 1. Essentially, there was no rape threat and she completely twisted his words and twisted his claim. Accusing someone of threatening rape is a very serious threat. Accusing someone of blackmailing you is a very serious threat. Going around the entire community and saying that
Yeah, like this whole thing is very, in my opinion, like very racist. The way that these women have been attacking him, it really seems racist. Hey, Miss Kelly. Yeah, this is part 2. So we did a stream last week, so we're kind of like in the middle of this video. But yeah, essentially a gay black man, and they're taking like words that, first of all, gay men say, so there's a little bit of homophobia there. Like, come on, we all know that they go like, bitch, like it's a term of endearment. And the hook thing was like it was actually directed towards someone in the audience. And it's just like a term that, like a joke idiom that the black community uses apparently. So like, anyway, they're turning it into like this whole thing that it's not. So yeah, it's really coming across super racist. Yeah.
this is a dangerous, violent man that we need to be scared of, and that this is an abuser, and that women and victims of abuse need to stand up and feel safe against abusive patriarchal men. That is a lot. That is a lot to take in. That is a lot to consume. Those are a lot of really heavy threats to consider, and Sag Moon is just kicking him while he is down. But there is yet another person that is involved in this drama, so we are going to take a little bit of a turn away from the charm drama. Of course, this whole thing has to spiral out of control and just snowball. That is exactly what has happened. So enter a TikTok creator that goes by the name of Loki. Now, again, similarly to Charm, Sag Moon has had drama with Loki in the past. Now, I'm not super educated on what this drama was, but they have gone back and forth between each other in the past. Sag Moon has accused Loki of a lot of things. So during this whole witch talk dramageddon, while Sag Moon was in the midst of accusing Charm of all of these things, again, His apology video was not out at this point. Loki decided to go on live and invite Sajmoon Magic onto this live, and they would proceed to get into it with each other. Loki would confront Sajmoon about all of the claims that she has against him, because of course every single man in this community is an abuser and misogynistic and all of these horrible things, right? So,
and like, I understand if you're feminist, and witches, the witch like community and witches have always been a more feminine role, even in history. Sorceresses and witches has always been the feminine, right? But we should let men in if they want to be part of it. We shouldn't deny them, because if we try to be high and mighty and be like, oh yeah, you can't come in and it's misogynistic because you're a man or whatever, like, and they're not being misogynistic, by the way, like, so, you know, it's just, you can't cry misogyny and then do it to them because they're in a female field. You know what I mean? Like, it's messed up. Hey, Vic. And yeah, Kelly. So essentially, we're finishing up the drama that was on Witch Talk, but then we're going to circle back to the Alex Reads Tarot, which is the original thing that started all the drama. We're going to circle back to it and see what's going on, because, and you'll be able to keep up on that because we'll kind of start at the beginning with that one. So
this live clip is very long, so let's just get like the main points and watch a little bit of it.
From my perspective, I did not talk about you first. I had conversations where people, your own mutuals, were coming to me, telling me that my name was in your mouth. Then you're indecisively following me, unfollowing me, all of this sketchy behavior. I got annoyed. I snapped back and basically said that you were annoying me. I understand that I did not care about your mental well-being and stuff like that, because that is what almost every single practitioner that has ever had any interaction with any other practitioners always done, is start a problem and then all of a sudden make me, who's mad and bothered by the situation, care about your mental health.
Kind of sounds similar to what she did with Charm. She's going to throw the first punch. She is going to take the first accusation, say that you are this, that, and the other. Poorly misrepresent your character and all of these things. But when these people snap back, then Sajmoon is the victim. Then Ruby Magdalene is the victim. And then she goes to him and says, well, what about me? And what about my mental health? And he very clearly states, why would I care about your mental health? I need to worry about me.
At this point, I'm supposed to prioritize mine and my platform and my reputation over someone's mental health. You have to understand, the video that you made about me, every time I've ever made a video or ever talked about you on a live, it was only in defense to something that you had previously said before. I'd only ever made responses to you.
If I'm being harassed by your followers because of something that you post, you literally said that that's just the internet and you didn't care that I was getting harassed by your followers. Like, what does that say about you? Like, if the situation were reversed and I said something about you that was resulting in you getting threats, I would absolutely condemn that behavior, but you didn't. And your entire platform is supposed to be about supporting survivors. How is that supporting survivors if you're actively being complicit in them receiving threats?
Mind you, Loki himself is a survivor of sexual assault. If you would like to learn more about that, he has talked about it on his own platform, but it's just important to the story because Sajmoon likes to victimize her own sexual assault story, all while diminishing the experiences of other people who are quite literally in the same exact boat as her. He goes on to explain that he does not account for his followers. He can't control what his followers do. If you would like to check out this live in its entirety, this is the creator who has posted.
Okay, so like, I don't know the details of that. The only thing I would say is I think as creators, we do need to check our audience once in a while. If something is getting out of control, like even just at least say like, hey guys, leave the person alone. Please stop attacking them. If I see you attacking them in their comments, or if I see anything, I'm going to ban you from my channel or something like that. Right? Like, it's our responsibility to make sure that we are not weaponizing our audience. I don't know exactly what led to all this, but, you know, I'm not going to necessarily agree that he did weaponize them or he didn't weaponize them because I don't know the details of that. So that's the only thing to keep in mind. But yeah, like in every field, there's always this person that has to make themselves out to be the victim. And yeah, it's... Douglas, it's so like what we were just talking about today. There's a certain person, and it happens on Facebook. And those of you who don't know, like, there's a lot of debunking and news and stories and drama happening on Facebook with the paranormal and debunking community there. That's not happening on YouTube. So like, you guys are missing part of the stories of what's going on. So anyway, lots of drama on Facebook recently because Everyone who supports the Warrens is real mad that Jason Hawes had Stevie on for an interview. So it's like a big deal. I just started streaming Zombie, so you should be good. Hey, James. So essentially there's this like girl, and like we honestly never think of her until she like pops up. She'll do like a story or a video where she's like, I'm being cyberbullied, I'm being attacked, I'm being stalked, they're making other accounts to stalk me, and da 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 da. None of us are doing this. We don't think about her until she like creates one of her little posts, right? And the thing about her is like, none of us have cyberbullied her, none of us have harassed her. We've put like, I put a comment under there saying, because she asked in the comments, she's like, what do you guys think this is? And it was a DR60 video. I said, I think that the DR60 is debunked and it's nonsense and you can make any noise out of it. So you shouldn't take it as paranormal content. And I was like, go check out Kenny's video on the DR60. She deleted my comment, and I think she blocked me, or no, she didn't block me. She just deleted my comment. And then I think Taryn also commented. She doesn't even go here. Yeah. Then Taryn also commented something about the DR60 as well. And she was doing the DR60 thing near Annabelle. So I think someone else commented about Annabelle. And she deleted all those comments. Then you saw her replace the comment with, she was like, I'm going to delete anyone who's coming in here to harass me and bully me. And that is not harassment. We never called her a name. We never picked on her. All we said was the DR60 is flawed. It's not any sort of evidence whatsoever. And she turned it like this whole big thing that she's the victim, and she does have things that she victimizes too. And apparently, I don't have all the details, but so like she posted something, I think it was a story to do with Annabelle, and she took Stevie's research, but then she reported it incorrectly, right? So she took Stevie's research, and then there's a part of it that she messed up. And then Stevie, I think, commented or messaged her or something, was like, hey, you need to fix this because that's not correct. This is the correct thing. And then, and she's like, and you should probably like credit me as well. And she's like, well, I credited you on, what's that platform again where people write articles and then you subscribe to it? I can't remember the platform, but essentially, so she put a reference to credit Stevie for the research in a paid article that no one's going to pay for. Like then she didn't put the references on her video to be like, hey, I got this information from Stevie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, the whole thing's just so dumb because we saw like that she did a video and she was complaining, Substack. Yeah. She did a video complaining about, it was something to do with cyberbullying and the Warren stuff, and it's all to do with this Jason interview, right? And then Ryan Buell shares the video and was like, we need to stop cyberbullying. Then underneath that, there's all these fans that are like threatening to beat the shit out of Stevie. Like, that's cyberbullying. Us telling you that a DR60 is not a good piece of equipment, that a DR60 is debunked, that's not cyberbullying. Like, what is wrong with you weirdos, right? Anyway, there's a lot of stuff happening over on Facebook. It's a lot. And what there's just so much stuff. Anyway, go if you want to go check it out. Make sure you go check out Ms. Paranormal. Kat, I can't remember the name of her page offhand. I'd have to look it up. Luna as well. She did a video. I shared everyone's stuff on my Facebook page. Anytime I'm seeing things, I'm sharing it out so that you guys can try to follow it. There might be some other stuff that disappeared. There might be some more stuff. Like Jason's doing more posts, and I think Beardo's doing more posts, but when I see them, I'm sharing them out if you guys want to check them out. I'm not sharing out like the Ryan posts and stuff because I don't want to like promote him. And I will say on the record, like the reason that we have an issue with Ryan Buell, Ryan faked cancer. Okay, because he was a drug addict and he was lying and whatever, trying to make money, whatever. And he also scammed his fans out of money. Like, and so then he came back saying he's an addict. And then he's like, said something like, I apologize for letting my fans down. But he has never apologized for faking cancer, which that's the thing that actually pisses me off the most. He never apologized specifically for faking cancer. He never apologized for ripping off his fans. He also never apologized, not that I like him, but he fucked over Chip Coffey. He never apologized to him too. So like, if you're a recovering addict, you should be like taking responsibility of what you did and do specific apologies for the things that you did. Not a blanket, I'm sorry to let people down, you know? That's our issue with Ryan. And then Ryan is trying to dig up Stevie's past about the mermaid tail story, which also isn't true. And then he's like, well, you know, she's a grifter and she's a fraudster because of this. Like, first of all, that story's not true. It was made up by a competitor. Stevie has tons of videos about that. But like, why are you calling her out when she has told the story in multiple videos and told her part and things that she has done wrong as part of that story that led up to her being attacked and lied about? Like, yeah, she agrees that she shouldn't have egged them on, right? But she did not defraud anyone. She did not do any of that. So like Ryan trying to like pull in Stevie's past when meanwhile Ryan can't even apologize for faking cancer. So it's amazing how many people don't know the definition of cyberbullying. Yeah. Oh, and on Joan's page on Facebook, if you take a look too, she shared one of the comments where they're like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this bitch or something. And she was talking about Stevie. And I know this is a side topic. Sorry, guys. You know what? I meant to talk about this first before we got into this video. The ADHD is ADHD. Anyway, you're going to SAG's next video. We're going to take a look at whatever, God, I forget her name. Demetri, is it? Or like, yeah, Demetri. We're going to take a look at the rest of her video. Sorry, just to pause this. I did mean to talk about the Facebook stuff before we got into it, and that's my bad. I was distracted before everything started, so I've started very last minute. All right. Grifters love to run smear campaigns and discredit sounds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, okay, Stevie had a successful business. A competitor lied about her being a fraud, and she wasn't a fraud, and it ruined her business. That's wrong. Stevie's horrible for that, but I'm allowed to say I have cancer. I'm allowed to fake having cancer. Come on, Ryan. Like, apologize for having cancer. Apologize. Like, this whole thing, too. Every time, like, we've had a problem with people, we're like, just fucking apologize. And everything, like, we'll just let it go. But the fact that you don't want to apologize is, like, you know? Yeah. Embrace the ADHD. I know. It's a day. It's because I'm doing, like, so many things. I was doing a bunch of stuff today, and it's distracted me. So, okay, let's get back to the video.
But for time's sake, I'm just going to skim through it and paraphrase. But the main picture I'm trying to paint is that Sag Moon does this a lot. She will accuse someone of something, spin these lies, and then victimize herself in the process, and then make these other people try to look worse for not caring about her.
The only thing I mentioned about your mental health, your trauma, or anything like that is that you seem to be, in that time, very emotional and reactive towards me, and it felt like there was just a deeper issue than just the situation going on.
Now, what he is referring to in this live, Sag Moon brought up the fact that Loki has called Sag Moon out for victimizing her own abuse in the past. She has gone through this thing, and as you see, she brings it up often, and often uses it when people are trying to hold her accountable for something or call her out for something. She does often react from a place that is very emotional and triggered, and like it often spirals out of control because of this, as you have clearly seen. And I personally think that she is just like not in the right state of mind and doesn't know how to take a step back. Again, I'm going to show you a video from someone else's perspective that explains that a lot better than I can. She is reacting from a very emotional place and is dragging other people down with her in the process.
That's part of the other reason why I feel so heated about this, is because people are coming to me and telling me that you're a predator, that you've done things. Like, and obviously, like, as someone who is a survivor themselves, like, I have to take that seriously. Like, it, especially because you're such a powerful creator in this community, okay?
So what she's bringing up...
Okay, I don't remember what Demetri says here, but, like, did people say, like, people... TikTok's, like, messy. People are messy over there. Did someone send you proof? Because, like, if they don't send you proof, you probably shouldn't say that during a live. Also, what we learned from last week, and we're learning here, is don't react to shit live. Things go bad. Yeah. Also, you said, my next response to paranormal drama may be, dude, this isn't witch talk. That is a good response. That is a good response. Good idea for a t-shirt, image of a squirrel shouting, embrace the ADHD. That's actually really good. Yeah. Joan says, got another one just now, how debunkers attack but don't like when people bite back. Ma'am, I thought you were being cyberbullied. Doesn't biting back mean you aren't being bullied? Yeah. We don't mind if you come back at us, but if you're coming back at us with something that makes no sense, we're going to call it out. Like, I don't think any of us have been like, leave me alone, whereas they have actually. They've been like, I have this problem, leave me alone, or I have this wrong with me, leave me alone. Like, none of us have said this to the Warren people. We're not like, leave me alone, da, da, da. Like, we're not doing that. We're not playing victim with them. So I don't know what the hell they're on about. Like, I swear with a lot of their posts, it's like they're just looking in a mirror and they're just reiterating what they're doing. It's not what we're doing. Like, they're literally just writing out what they're doing, right? It's like, yeah. It's giving Nancy from The Craft. Yeah.
Here is, I guess she heard a rumor from someone that Loki was sexually abusing a minor, ? That is false, but this is a rumor that she heard from someone.
That's why I want to talk to you about this in private. I don't understand why we're not having this conversation in private.
Well, I feel as a practitioner, you should have been able to use your discernment to know that maybe the victim of trafficking isn't.
How do I know that when you continuously attack women on this app all the time? And what, like, how does that make any sense?
Because my entire platform and name is built off of protecting survivors on their name.
This is just things that I'm assuming.
He is quite literally like a victim as well. And I feel like she is just constantly diminishing that fact, basically accusing Loki of being a perpetuator himself.
Screenshots of someone claiming to be your family member coming forward saying that you SA'd them. Okay,
Yeah,
like, I have to take that seriously.
That person was also involved in trafficking me and got pregnant by a 14-year-old boy. That's why, once again, and I've been public about that person because that person has nothing on me, not a single screenshot, not a single picture, not a single person has spoken against me and actually made that claim. That is a pedophile trying to steer a poisonous, toxic thing on my name. And because y'all will be so quick to dislike me or someone else that you'll immediately believe the people who do not like me. Do you know how many times you or me or anyone else on here has been lied about significantly?
And we have seen the same exact thing with Charm. She heard something about him and just stuck with it and ran with it, even though
Yeah, so this is the danger of TikTok, and I have a video coming out where I'm talking about the GATE program, and I'm talking about, like, I want to call it short form content psychosis, because I think that's a pretty succinct thing to explain where I'm coming from. But officially, apparently, they're calling it brain rot. Like, even psychologists are calling it that. I think that it's diminishing from, like, the issue here is that everyone in the short form, everyone who consumes mainly short form content, everyone who makes short form content, they, like, don't do any critical thinking. They don't check any references. They don't make sure that things are accurate. I've noticed this a lot. And they just roll with it. They hear something from someone and they just roll with it. Like, the conspiracy theories are so out of control at this point. And it's because short form content. Like, it's just crazy that she, you know what? This could have been an email. Why is she doing this on a live? Like, why is she, you know what I mean? Like, this is insane. All right. Let me see. I know rules in New Zealand, but aren't counselors supposed to be careful how they publicly say things? Yeah, like, if you're an official counselor or therapist and stuff like that, yeah, you should be careful what you're saying, yeah. But, like, I don't know, here you can take a course to do, like, a counseling certificate, which is what my mom did. And, like, you're not, like, if you're not, like, registered as a therapist, but you have enough training to be able to navigate a situation if someone's, like, in a psychotic break or something like that, right? And, like, part of it would be maybe calling 988 with them if they're with you, kind of thing, right? So it's not, like, official, but you can still be a counselor, and it's not like a therapist. So maybe that's part of it. Honestly, love her makeup so much. Yeah, I love this makeup. I am not good at doing eyeliner like this anymore. I used to be able to do it, but not anymore. My hands are too shaky. There are a lot of entitled brats, you know. They just want to hit you with something negative and be like, you can't slap me back because I'm so fragile, so special me. Yeah. It's not only that Stevie's attack was discussing articles and interviews. Their bite back is calling Stevie a vile bitch. Oh, yeah. Is that what they're offended by? They're offended that we said, like, okay, if you want to bite back at us with intelligence. Bite back at us with showing us proof of something. If you use schoolyard insults, then no. Like, anyone who does that too in my comments, I have it, like, in my thing. Don't use schoolyard insults. If you're going to come in here and call someone, like, a whore or vile bitch, I'm just going to ban you from the channel. Because, like, you're acting like a 12-year-old. There's no talking to you, you know, but we can have a conversation back and forth about like the actual topic and be like critical of each other. We just don't need to go to that level. If that's what they're saying that we're upset about, no, it's inappropriate. It's fucking stupid. So accusations often carry a confession. True. Yes. True. Sweet goth. Well, we are not specifically told, nor is being careful a part of the law to be careful. However, it's basic ethical behavior to try not harm people. Right. Miss Kelly is a therapist, right? I believe therapist. So that's a good question for Miss Kelly. Yeah. People's attention spans and critical reasoning are going extinct so much. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's so bad. But then, like, I wonder if I can take a course or something, because I wouldn't mind doing some more psych training if there's like something I could take that would help us or help me like with videos. I'm kind of thinking about that now too. In the US, that is not as true. You have to have the master's degree to even call yourself a counselor or therapist based on your major. So you can be a mental health helper or technician with certificate. Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm going back to like, this was way back when my mom did that, and it was like a certificate program, and she took it through like correspondence through a college. So she didn't have a master's in psychology, but she does have a degree in philosophy. I don't know if that like did anything, but it was just like like maybe a mental health helper or something. I wonder if I could do something like that too. I wouldn't mind doing the training. I like learning this stuff. So I'm feeling such a dinosaur now. Whatever happened to critical thinking and ethical behavior? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy because I have a short out, and maybe we'll analyze this in a video. I have a short out where I just took a portion of the reading that Tyler Henry did for Boy George. It's just a small portion of it, right? And so in the short, I just kind of say a few points, and all these people are commenting all these things. They're like, you didn't watch the whole thing. And I'm like, I even put a pinned comment. I'm like, guys, a short is 3 minutes max. If you want to see the entire thing and you want to see my entire commentary, go watch the video that is linked. But they don't. They just look at the short and immediately make a decision. You know, like the accusation thing is a glimpse of Darvo. Actually, yeah, that's a good point, Sweet Goth. The Sag lady is definitely Darvo feeling, yeah. As I'm a therapist and I have a PhD, ABD in clinical psychology, working on my dissertation. Damn. Yeah. So you know your shit, man. Yeah. Miss Kelly's good for these kind of questions. Yeah. I think I'm doing psychology due to some personal events going on with family friend. I've always taken like a bunch of extra psychology courses because I was wanting to go down a path of like psychology, criminology, like neuroscience, like something, something to do with the mind and everything. So I took a bunch of university courses. So they're kind of like college level to like kind of get, I don't know. I wanted to get like more knowledge before I like hopped into university, but then I ended up not going to university because it's so friggin' expensive. So if I could go back, I would just be a mental health tech. Yeah, but like if you have your PhD and everything and you have all that, like it does open up doors. And if you want to write a book or something, if you want to like have a channel on YouTube, there's a really good Mickey Atkins, I think her name is. She's a therapist, excellent YouTuber. She gives excellent advice. She's very good. I really do like her. The escalation, yeah. Like it opens up a lot more opportunities if you have your master's and PhD in psychology for sure, because you can do more than like just therapy. Like, well, I mean, anyone can do it, but I don't know. People like give you more respect because of what you've done, right? Brains are awesome and my hyper focus, yay. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I wish that I could make my hyper focus turn on when I need it. That's the only thing. That's like the superpower of ADHD is hyper focus. And you like randomly will like want to learn something about a random topic and you hyper focus on it and you learn everything about it. And then 3 days in, you're like, okay, I'm done. Just like, I wish that I could like turn it on and decide what I want to learn, but ADHD does its thing. So anyway, true, but the field itself is going to the poo. I think it's because people are like getting dumber or like society, man. It's such a mess, And the thing, like, I actually prefer to see counselors. I don't like seeing psychologists because I found psychologists are like, anyways, when I've seen them, they seem like a little bit out of touch of like the everyday person that can't afford groceries. Whereas like the counselors here, at least, they know about all the social services programs. So you like talk to them, you're like, I'm really struggling with this. And they're like, oh, there's a program in here, call this number and they'll help you with it. And I'm like, that's what I love about the counselors here. So every time I do therapy, I ask to be part of there's like a Canada mental health unit, and there's like counselors that work there, and I'm like, I want those people because they know what's going on in the community, and I've found them to be very, very helpful. Yeah, that's the curse of hyper focusing. Yeah, when it works, it's great. When it works, it's good 100% of the time, but it doesn't always turn on. Yeah, unfortunately, many parts of the world are saying that about their training and the quality of students. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, there's a whole other topic here where grade school teachers are being told to just pass their students. No one's allowed to fail a grade anymore. And that's part of the issue. Like, it's starting at grade school and it's building through high school. It's crazy. And the amount of people that are illiterate too, because they just know like short form versions of words. It's crazy. Well, yay, PTSD. Yeah, that also gives you like a weird hyper focus too. When I was apprentice drug worker, we mainly did signposting for clients. Wait, what's signposting? That because there's a total difference between them. Psychologists are not trained in doing actual therapy as much. Yeah, because, well, I went to see a couple because they're like, because I have chronic pain. They're like, oh, these guys are specialists in chronic pain. And it's like, it wasn't good. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just... I wanted to talk about some other issues that were really bothering me because, I mean, stress and depression and all that, it adds to the chronic pain. But he like wouldn't talk about certain issues because he was trying to keep it on chronic pain focus. So I'm like, but this is affecting the pain. So can I talk about this? And like he wouldn't let me talk about it. So I'm like, this is so dumb. And like even, not eating right, not sleeping right, that gives you more pain. And I see a counselor, I just started therapy again last week, and she's like, I want you to start, she's like, you need to eat more, because I honestly don't eat. I know I look fat, but like I eat once a week or something. And it makes my body's always in starvation mode. But it's because like the ADHD, I think, and I feel like ARFID or something, like it's like, I'll eat like a meal a day, but sometimes textures of food just like turn me off. So I think it's an ADHD thing. But like, I don't have any sort of YouTube. I don't have any ED. All right. I don't have food noise. I don't have a bad relationship with food. I have a bad relationship with remembering to eat, I guess. It's the ADHD. Yeah. Because I know YouTube doesn't want us talking about this. So I should have started talking about it. God damn it. All right. Yeah. It doesn't take much for things to go wrong. A signposting, sending someone to the right organization or charity. Oh, yeah. See, and that's what I like. I like having that. Someone who knows where to send me, because I will like do these different things if I know where to go. It's just trying to navigate the system is so difficult. Hey, Velvet. Love you to the moon. Florio, stay epic. Victoria, Miami. Yeah, of course. Nice to see you. Why say I come off as psychotic? Not so many signs. No, I can totally see how that would happen. I see therapists, not PhD myself, work under my master's as a therapist. Yeah, like, and some of the counselors that just have their masters, and I feel like a lot of times it's really all you need. But if you're already like in the midst of getting your PhD, like finish it. Like you're already writing your dissertation, just finish it, because you'll regret it if you don't. You know what I mean? Because you've already started working on it. So 100% finish it. But yeah, the counselor's been really good. She's like, she wants me to eat more. Like I need to eat more protein. My biggest issue is protein, because I don't like meat most of the time. Like I get like weirded out by meat, but then some days I like meat. So, but yeah, she's like, if you eat more, then, apparently the ADHD meds work better if you eat a proper meal with them. I did not know about this. So I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense, because I tend to eat a proper meal at night, and I feel like sometimes the ADHD meds like weirdly kick in. So I'm like, I feel like maybe that's correct. Yes. So I'm trying to come up with a plan of eating more with it. So yeah. Hunger associations. Yeah. I was in vain, but should have stopped with the MA. Yeah. Yeah. Not alone, Fleur, but not alone. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, sometimes like a texture of a food, and it just like turns you off for the rest of the day. It's just like one of those like things. It's like, it just turns into that sometime, you know? But yeah, protein, definitely, she wants me to have protein with the ADHD meds because it makes them work better. So like, okay, that makes sense. So my big thing is I mainly get protein from milk products because that's the only thing that I can easily eat some milk products, right? Like I do like a protein shake. There's like a boost thing. Then I really like cheese. I know it's bad for you, but I love cheese. And the protein powder, I prefer whey protein, which is from milk as well. Oh, yogurt. I do Greek yogurt. That's actually really high in protein. And I add chia seeds and stuff. So that's really good. That's a good like protein meal. So you need to take meds 20 minutes before you eat a full meal. Yeah, that's the thing. I usually do that with like my pain meds. So in the morning, I'll have something small, like a muffin or a piece of toast or something. So I take the Vyvanse, the ADHD meds, then I ate the toast or the muffin. And I told her this, and she's like, no, that's not enough food. She's like, you need to have more protein with that in the morning. Like you need to have more than just like a carb. I was like, okay. So I'm trying to come up with a plan for that. So anyway, point is, counselor like helps with things like that really well. So far, like we just did like one session to kind of get to know each other, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't know about this with the ADHD meds. I wasn't aware that you need to eat like an actual like meal. So I'm like, okay, good to know. It's unfortunate that modern communication channels make it easy to say you don't need professionals, you need them. Yeah, I always say like, please go see like an actual trained therapist, counselor all the time. Like, please, they are way better at helping you. Don't see a guru on TikTok. They will mess you up. Therapists and counselors, if you've had a problem with psychologists, psychiatrists in the past, just know the difference too. Psychiatrist gives you meds. Psychologist is the expensive one. I always recommend look for a counselor or a therapist. They're the ones that are more like real world, down to earth people. So I have a major sensory issue with food, so I feel like that's usually what it ends up being. It's just like a sensory thing, right? It could give you an ulcer, if I'm not mistaken, if you don't eat for certain meds. Yeah, there's certain meds that you do have to eat with. But like, I thought that having a muffin was enough, but she said no. So I'm like, oh, okay. Also, with any psychostimulants, do not have any citric acid, so no oranges or no strawberries when you take your meds. Oh, okay. So like, I usually take vitamin C. Like I'll have like my coffee, muffin, like whatever in the morning, and then I'll take my vitamin C like way after I finish my coffee because the tastes different. I need to get it out of my system. So if it's like maybe an hour or something, or should I take the vitamin C but later? I could probably do it later. I didn't know that about the citric acid. That's good to know. Yeah. Throw the gurus in the bin. Yes, agreed, Sweet Goth. All right, let's finish watching the video. I know this is going to be a squirrel day. There
was no proof. It is harmful to bring up these very deeply personal things about other people. This is something that he has gone through. This is something that should stay in his personal life. He shouldn't have to explain himself to thousands and thousands of people and quite honestly out and come forward with his story, which he may or may not be ready to tell because of someone spreading rumors about him. Serious accusations and serious rumors. Essaying a minor in your family, that is a very serious accusation that she has thrown against him, which is clearly untrue. She does not have any evidence for, and the fact that he had to bring up his own past to justify it and like prove that she is lying is quite honestly dangerous to other victims.
So many times when the original charm situation came out and this one to talk to you behind closed doors and you won't do it. That's why all these miscommunications keep happening and any of this is happening in the first place.
Oh my god, no, the miscommunication's quite literally happening because of you, because you hear a rumor and you literally stick with it and you fucking run with it and you paint it all over TikTok.
Just be willing to have an actual conversation with me, like none of this would be happening at all, frankly.
Right.
Can you take accountability?
Which is funny. Keep that in mind. She's saying that she wants to have this conversation, this private conversation with him. Yet, we are here because she did baneful magic workings against him based off of a rumor. And we're gonna get to that.
At the end of the day, when someone comes to me and starts an entire, not relationship, but connection.
I'm curious why he wouldn't talk to her privately. I don't think at this point Charmed released that she like, cause she talked to Charm privately and then told everyone a different story of totally different of what happened in a private call, which is concerning because you don't want to talk to someone like this privately unless you're recording them because they're making stuff up after the fact. So I'm curious why, if he knew about that. I don't think he knew yet at this point during this this video here. I think people are getting, as a species, are getting dumber. Yeah, I honestly, I really think it's the short form content. I really think it's short form content. It's making us dumb. So, yeah. I think it's coming school age children where the first generation score lower on aptitude tests than previous generations. And that's saying, it goes back to, I've seen a lot of videos from teachers saying like that they're being told to just pass their students, that they're like being told like, don't spend extra time trying to teach them to like read and write and things like that. Like, and that's a problem, you know. Education is so important, but educated people also stand up to fascist regimes. So there's probably a reason for a lot of this.
Of knowing each other by talking on me, attacking me. Like I said, you've been in group chats talking about me and talking about how I'm weird and how you don't trust me and that's why you unfollow me and all of those things before the stuff about Ivan's prices, before any of that. You have been on my name, on my lives before. That was weird behavior.
Because I've heard
Okay. So she's been saying stuff behind his back and things like that. That's probably why he didn't want to do a private conversation. I get it. He's clocking that she's very manipulative. Okay.
continuously from dozens of women in this community that you're sketchy and that you attack them. Like, that to me communicates that you're a misogynist. Like, I see how you talk about women on your page and I don't think it's okay, frankly. Like, how could I not come to that conclusion on my own?
Because the fact that, one, you are once again talking to a bunch of people that simply don't like me. You say something that you don't like about me, they're going to come to you. I have people knocking on everyone's doors. Also, it's kind of hard to answer that question when we're in the middle of our direct conversation about our connection.
So as I previously mentioned, she basically did a justice working on Loki based off of rumors that she heard about him. She's gonna go around saying, well, you should have came to me and talked to me, yet clearly is not even like doing the same thing herself. She's in group chats with people, talking shit about him, basically getting information about him behind his back, quite literally directly contacted his abuser. Remember, he is also a victim of sexual assault. She went behind his back, messaged his abuser, and got personal information about him so that she could do spell work on him. You're fucking crazy. Like, you're actually...
Wait, did she cast spells and shit on him? That's crazy. No, that's crazy. I would not talk to that person privately either. This chick is nuts. What? Why would she do that? She doesn't even know this person. It's so weird. My mom, rest in peace, demanded my teachers give me proper instruction with my learning difficulties. Miss you, Mom. Yeah, like, school definitely was more effective back in the day. We really are dropping the ball. Yeah, this girl's insane. So yeah, that's why he's not talking to her privately. I get it. Yeah.
So ridiculously unhinged, and he has proof and evidence to back it up.
But is this literally not you talking about doing justice work and trying to find out my information?
Okay, but can you see how if someone sent me a screenshot literally saying that you essayed a child, why I would do that? Yeah, I did that. I did that because I thought someone sent me a screenshot saying that you would take advantage. Someone also said that you've literally hired minors to spy on your ops and taken advantage of them. I don't think that's okay. So
don't you think that would have been a bigger situation that would have been dealt with years ago with the fact that I have so many enemies, including ones that have shown up to my house?
This screen recording of this live is very long. I highly recommend you go check it out on your own, but the main consensus from all of that is Sag is a snake. Sag is a liar and going behind people's back, not only with Loki, but with Charm as well. And I feel like this person feels like they are very justified in doing this because they feel like they are standing up for a group of people who are silenced, such as women and victims of sexual assault. However, she is not even like keeping her integrity and is quite honestly mischaracterizing these people to make her look better.
Sophie says, thank you. The person says, I believe he turned 23. Sophie says, Sophie is Sag Moon. Thank you especially for sharing his real name with me, and his birthday is April 11th, April 12th. I'm gonna do some justice work behind closed doors to remedy this. Please keep this between us. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys that so you can make your own judgments. Right there. Hold on, let me try focus it. Screenshot, y'all, screenshot. Do your thing.
Like hard to read. So she was getting his birthday. This one's probably good. Okay. His birthday is, I'm gonna do some justice work. So like, yeah, she's casting a spell on him. What the fuck? That's weird. Please keep this between us. Keep this private. Oh, between us. So how did he get this screenshot? Oh, thank you for especially sharing his real name with me. Oh no, this is crazy. This is crazy town behavior. Got his real name, and she's coursing for his real name and his birthday and everything, and then she's trying to say that Charmed threatened her friend to get her phone number when, like, no, she gave it to Charmed like last year. But she's doing this, like pressuring someone to give, yeah, this is crazy behavior.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not lying about that. The moment I confront you for doing shady work on me without any proof for the things that you don't like me for, you immediately leave. I was about to have the conversation about all the women I supposedly attacked, but the moment I confronted you on one of them, you still chose to, side with the perpetrator.
Yeah, so you, Sag Moon, a victim, someone who speaks up for victims, you build your whole platform on speaking up for victims. You went behind someone's back, spoke to their abuser, and got their real name and birthday so that you could use it to do this weird, baneful justice spell on this person based off of a rumor. That is sick. That is sick and ridiculous and disgusting. You contacted this person's abuser directly, and you're gonna sit there and be this huge advocate. I'm flabbergasted, absolutely fucking flabbergasted. And I feel like because these are men, assigned male at birth people, like, I feel like Sag feels more justified in doing this, regardless on if it is right or not. Because these people benefit from the patriarchy and this and that they deserve to have all of these things said about them. Like, also, Loki is someone who is devoted to Medusa, who is associated with like justice for victims of sexual assault and stuff like that. And Sag Moon has spread this rhetoric surrounding, like, I can't believe that he's devoted to Medusa. Like, can you believe it? Same thing with Charm worshiping a...
Yeah, so those of you who are like not witches, and yes, I'm skeptical. Yes, I'm a debunker, but this is still like my belief system. This is like my religion. The way it works with spell work is you work on your spell. You put a piece of your energy into it, right? Think of it like it's kind of like an imprint of yourself into your spell. You send it out into the world of what you want your spell to do, right? Eventually your energy comes back to you like a boomerang. And when it comes back, it's collected things along the way. And that's why they say it comes back threefold. So her doing that spell, by the way, demanding justice, her being outed like this right now and being called out and being taken down, this is the spell coming back to her. You don't do shit like this unless you know what's going on and you're for sure on everything, because all that she did is it just backfired on her. And now she's paying justice. They're making her pay justice for doing this to people. So yeah, energy and intention. Yeah. So that's sort of like how spells work. And I know it sounds like woo woo and all that. And I get it. I'm not defending it and saying that this is for real, how it works, but this is how we understand how spellcraft works, right? This is how I can explain it. I believe that a lot of it is psychological, but I also like to kind of read about a lot of physics stuff. And we definitely do have like energy and electricity around us and heat. And so like, I don't know. I just feel like there might be something there in some part of us that we can't see, that, cause you know how you can like feel someone behind you? Like, I feel like there's like something but we don't really have those answers yet. But that's sort of like the mystical side of me. That's why I do feel like your energy kind of can go in and out and come back on you. So has she never heard of the threefold? Apparently not. Yeah. I mean, this is basic spellcraft rules. Shake my head. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kate or whatever. I can't believe a man is working with a Kate and all of these things. Like, it really just does read as like gatekeepy, and like, my problems are bigger than yours, my issues are worth more than yours because I'm a woman and you are a man. And I just think that this is horrible. Also, this video gives a little bit more context from their previous beef, which is what they were attempting to sort out on that live. I personally think that Loki handled the live very well. I think he spoke with a lot of maturity.
There's a girl going around right now telling everyone that I'm a narcissist, a sadist, and a misogynist. She's also claiming that I told her that she was making SA her entire personality and that I was threatening unborn children and her family. So let's talk about it. If you need a video to reference to, it is this one. It is.
She said, me when I randomly remember there's a famous Medusa devotee on this app who once said, I make being a rape victim my entire personality.
Is this creator, Sag Moon Magic, and she has an 8-minute story time on why I'm so awful and her awful experience with me, making absolutely ridiculous claims. One thing that she fails to do in this video is provide literally a single shred of evidence at all. So I'm making the response that she obviously wanted from that video.
So you can take the liberty of watching this video on your own. This came out in April, so clearly they've been having this issue with each other for a while. As you can see, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. You can only cry wolf so many times. And when someone calls out your behavior, you just continue to say like, oh, I'm a victim and you're blaming victims. Let's see what Loki has to say about this most recent drama where she quite literally contacted his abuser.
Not to be too woke about anything, but going ahead and correcting yourself about my dead name because you didn't know I was trans, even though I don't really resonate with that label, and mentioning that, putting that on blast publicly, that I potentially was trans, while the traction and momentum on my name that you are creating, the storm that you are brewing of hatred, is hatred directed towards me, already in a negative context. So you would think that maybe you would think a little bit more if you considered the fact that we are talking about someone's dead name and the potential of them being trans. Maybe putting them on blast for being trans is not a safe thing to do, and you're very lucky that I do not resonate with that label and that I'm not actually trans. I am very much non-binary for sure. I understand that that's under the umbrella, but I don't go around and really consider myself trans. I consider myself a gay man whose spiritual beliefs are tied more than my gender, or isn't anchored and limited to my gender, whatever. Beyond the point. Had I actually been transgender and this whole dead name stuff had come out, which first of all, I changed my name because I was being abused by traffickers, so I changed my name for safety reasons anyways. Once again, beyond the point, had I actually been trans and then you are starting beef with me and then you put on blast that I'm transgender, that is so beyond not safe. That is so beyond cruel and weird. And I can tell you just simply didn't think about that before doing that, but that is not safe. And if you're the type of person that's going to put that on blast and bring more attention to that, even if it's a clear name because you didn't know I was trans, so therefore you didn't know it was a dead name, and blah, 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 you shouldn't be bringing it up in the first place. There's a reason why this isn't your business. There's a reason why you didn't know this information.
Yeah, I think if someone is going by an alias and not going by their legal name, it's a little disrespectful to try to go out of your way to find out what their legal name is.
And like, to be honest, when it comes to spellcraft, and yeah, Douglas said, it sounds like woo-woo, but people pray to God all the time. Yeah, it's the same sort of deal. It's ceremony, right? But technically with the rules of spellcraft, if they don't go by their dead name and they go by a different name, that spell won't really necessarily resonate or reach them because they have the identity of their new name, right? So, hey, I've been listening while prepping chicken walnut stir fry. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah. This pretty much happened to Nikki Tutorials. Oh yeah, I think I remember something about that. Isn't it funny? Like every time there's drama, it's always like the same, like, layout. Everything goes down like the same way. Isn't it weird? Humans, man, we are good at repeating shit all the time.
is, no matter what the reason is. And I completely agree with Loki. I think this is dangerous and harmful. And I think even the fact that he had to come out about his own experience with sexual abuse just to clear his name is also dangerous and unsafe. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. And of course, Sag Moon has not taken accountability for any of this. Sag Moon has not apologized for anything. Sag Moon has not said, oh, I was wrong about this, and continues on with this smear campaign, but turns it around on herself and says that she is the one who's being smeared and she is the one who is the victim because of misogyny.
I am being deliberately smeared in an effort to discredit me for speaking out about violence against women and misogyny in the spiritual community. Several days ago, I was baited into a live that was aimed specifically at assassinating my character in an effort, again, to discredit me for speaking out about exploitation, blackmail, and misogyny that I experienced at the hands of a man in this community. The reason that I even joined the live in the first place is because the person who is hosting it has supported the person that I recently spoke up.
And like, was this after they did their video about being non-binary? Because like, she just said a man in this community. And I know that they said that they see themselves as a gay man, but also non-binary. I think that she should just like be like they, because it's a little offensive. Like if she wants to get on her soapbox of being like, this is offensive, then you got to also recognize when you're being offensive too, you know, like that we can go back and forth on this, you know, who's being more offensive deal.
Out against before, attacked me in defense of them, etc., etc. And I was invited under the guise of peacemaking. I thought that this person wanted to invite me on live to apologize to me for past treatment because of everything that has come out about this person that they have
What about the treatment that you have against Loki? Like, what?
repeatedly defended and attacked me in defense of. And frankly, I should have known better and just not gone on live given this person's history and the fact that they do this to a lot of people, but I was hopeful that peacemaking was a possibility. As you can imagine, I was completely caught off guard and very angered.
Okay, so first off, if like we saw clips of that live, she was not letting them speak at all. Like she was just talking over them the entire time. So like like she was coming in hot, she was coming in attacking. So like I'm not on board. I don't know. Like this woman bothers me. Oh, Nikki Tutorials, right? Nikki Tutorials was being blackmailed, so she had to come out as trans. That's right. Yeah, that was like a while back. Yeah, and it was kind of stupid because like she's just doing makeup. Like, why are you blackmailing her? Like, why? It shouldn't matter if she's trans or whatever. Like, she's just doing makeup. Just like people watch like drag queens do their makeup too and get like tips from them because it's fun, like booger drag and stuff like that, right? It's like it was so dumb that Nikki had to come out. Yeah.
By the fact that this was not in fact the intention of the live at all, but rather a calculated attempt to smear my character and make me look unreliable.
I think it was him holding you accountable and confronting you on all of the lies that you have spread about him in this community, as you have done with Charm as well. Like, this is a pattern.
For speaking out about abuse, misogyny, blackmail, and exploitation perpetuated by men in the spiritual community. Before I address some of the specifics of the live, I just want to have you kind of imagine the type of person that would be threatened by someone speaking out about misogyny and abuse within the spiritual community. I want you to think about the type of person who might be scared or threatened by someone doing that, and why it might be in that person's best interest to discredit that person, to slander them, to make them look unreliable after coming forward with those claims. This is something that happens time and time again when women in spaces come forward about abuse. Men who do the same type of shit are very quick to come and be like, this person's lying, this person did this, that, and the other, in order to discredit them, to cover up their own ass. Because when a woman speaks out so openly and fearlessly about abuse, they know deep down that it's only a matter of time until they're next.
So she is accusing these two people of being like abusers, and it kind of sounds like something that you do similarly, is just discredit other people and their own experiences. But it's
Yeah, this is so tit for tat. This is so high school. It's so silly. Yeah. I learned how to do contour from drag makeup tutorials. I think my first contour video that I ever seen was Nikki. And then I found some other women who were like doing it like less like obvious and less, I can't think of the word right now. So I kind of like learned how to do it like sharp and like really obvious, and then learned how to do it kind of like more blended in. But yeah, like I had no idea about contour until like these makeup people started doing videos on YouTube and stuff. Like growing up, I was goth. So like I did like her it wasn't as white because back then you couldn't get like white foundation. So what I did is I put on foundation to be sticky, then I put on baby powder, and then I put on like it was like, you know, face powder, but it was like the lightest I could get, and then I put on some more baby powder. My skin was like, I got it pretty white. But it was like we couldn't find white paint like this. There was like makeup paint, but it was not comfortable to wear. There's now white foundation that you can get that does this. I didn't have fake lashes. Back then I did buy them, and just like we didn't know how to like put them on or how to wear them properly, like whatever, right? So like I could never get them to stay on and be proper. I did try though. But yeah, I did that, and then I did like more eye makeup. So one of my best friends when I was like 15 to like 17, she actually dropped out of high school and she took a course on she was a makeup artist, and so she like did all this really cool stuff. She actually got her face much whiter than I did, but she would do these cool like things with her eyes, and that's where I learned how to do like eyeshadow, was kind of from her. So I've always done my eyes like this. However, I've now gotten what's called hooded eyes from the Botox that I do for the migraines. So now I can't, it's not the same as it used to be when I was younger. Well, not even younger. The migraines have dropped my forehead down a bit, which is probably like part of what's causing my migraines, is my eyes being like too open, because it's definitely triggering something. So now I'm trying to learn how to do makeup on hooded eyes, and that's a whole, I'm not good at it. I'm trying. At the time she was getting more successful fast. Yeah, she was moving very fast. It probably was jealousy. Yeah. For Nikki tutorials. Yeah. Contour came from drag queens. That's true. Yeah. I think it was used in like movie sets too, but drag queens definitely took it to the next level. Like, yeah. Yeah, she's still fantastic. Yeah. She tries to say like positive and everything. It's just kind of cute videos, and you don't have to like, you know, think too hard. And she tries out cool designs and stuff too, which I like. I like seeing some cool designs sometimes. It's sad that this gets repeated in every community. Yeah. Why not feel happy that someone's doing well and produce something better than them? Yeah. Or like collab with them, support them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do a tit for tat. You don't have to be the best in the niche. Like, why don't you just like work with other people, you know, do something that sets yourself apart, you know, like, yeah. So damn impressed by those eyes. Which ones? Hers or mine? I don't know which one. Yes, I have hooded eyes. So a lot of my makeup came from Nikki. Yeah, I've been looking at the like hooded eye tutorial, and like, I can't figure it out quite right. Like, it's not turning out the way that they look. Like, after they look, I'm like, okay, you look great. Why is my eye not looking like this? And then I bought these stickers that like lift up your hooded eye, and I keep forgetting to try them. So they're sitting there on my makeup thing. I'm always like, I finished my eye makeup and I'm like, oh right, the stickers, and I keep forgetting about that. So the hardest thing with hooded eyes is I used to do like really winged eyeliner and stuff like this, right? Not as thick, but definitely like winged out, and you just can't do it quite right with the hooded eyes now. So that is the toughest thing. My eyes, yeah, like this is the fun kind of color I do, is the red with the like the gold and the yellow, because I think it looks really good. It's kind of like fun. Red and yellow go really nicely together with makeup and eye makeup too. So I was doing that like a while ago too. I think it looks really cool.
It's okay for you to do it because you're a woman.
The biggest thing that I've seen is that I deliberately reached out to this person's abuser to get information on them, which is absolutely and 100% untrue. I would never do that.
He literally gave us screenshot proof, by the way.
Months ago, when I made a video speaking about a repeated pattern of misogynistic behavior from this person, an anonymous source came to me on behalf of someone who claimed to be a victim that suffered sexual abuse at the hands of Loki. And they also offered me their government name. I never asked for any of those things.
It's very possible that someone did approach them. Like, we saw part of the DMs, but we didn't see the whole thing. But if the person that approached her was Loki's abuser, then yeah, they're trying to continue abusing Loki through the internet, which is very like common, you know? I recently had to relearn wing eyeliner. Yeah, it's tough to relearn it. Thank you, Ken. Both, yeah. Reached out to their abuser. Yeah, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the abuser reached out to her just to like cause shit for Loki just to further abuse them through a third party. You know, abusers will do crap like that.
I know that Loki is trans. I never asked for their dead name. I never asked for their government name, and I never reached out to their abuser.
But you said in that screenshot, thank you for giving me his real name.
Those things were offered to me by an anonymous source through Snapchat, which is why I don't have screenshots of them. But I would never deliberately reach out to someone's abuser, even someone that I hated or didn't like. I would never do that. That's not the kind of person that I am. I would never do that. Also, I don't even know how I would find someone's abuser in the first place. Like, how would I just know that information? I want you to understand too, a lot of people are saying, well, why did you believe them? Why do you believe everything that everyone tells you? I'm sorry, but I am the type of person who believes victims when they come forward.
Listen, I'm the type of person who believes victims too when they come forward, but I don't put everything out there on live. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that I know about people that have been hurt in this community that I have not blasted out. I've just been there as an ear to help them out. I've tried to talk to other creators just to like, there's a bunch of instances I haven't told other creators, but I keep it private. You know, I tell other creators, hey, this person did this, you know, here's their story, send them like proof of something. I'm like, just be aware, I'm going to ban them from my channel if you want to ban them from your channel. Like, I don't do a video about this. I don't do a live about this. Like if you care about the victims, then deal with the issue privately. Like, you don't need to make a scene out of it. You don't need to turn it into content and money, you know, like that's just kind of weird. I do believe that the abuser contacted her though. And Ken, welcome back. We always miss you, Ken, of course. Yeah. I think she's kind of double speaking there. Yeah, she is. Yeah.
That is just the kind of person that I am, and I had no reason at the time to believe that that person wasn't telling the truth. Did I cast a justice working after that information was given to me? Yes, I did. Yes, I fucking did. I will never deny that. If someone comes forward to me and tells me that they are a victim of sexual abuse, I am going to do a justice working in that situation. The nature of the justice work that I do is to restore equilibrium to a situation, and so if for whatever reason those things that that person said weren't true, it wouldn't have an effect and it wouldn't work. No harm, no foul, either way. Like,
But you still went out of your way to get sensitive information about this person because of a rumor.
if there's no equilibrium to restore to a situation, it won't be restored. That situation specifically, and a lot of other stuff that was said in the live, was deliberately twisted in a specific way to make me look unreliable, to make me look like the problem in the situation.
I disagree with her, but she quite literally does the same exact things.
Okay, and like, those are Darvo tactics. Those are narcissistic abuse tactics. A lot.
And she does that a lot. She's calling Charm and Loki like narcissistic, misogynistic abusers. And it's just kind of hard to take her seriously at this point. And when people don't take her seriously, she says, well, I'm a victim and no one believes victims. And so, quite honestly, with Sag Moon Magic, you just can't win. You can't win. You can't hold her accountable. You can't confront her. You can't say, why did you do this, this, and this? Because it will always go back to, well, I'm a woman and I'm a victim. And so it's just impossible. So
Yeah. And, you know, and I think it's getting kind of old. Like, everyone, like, there's those people out there that just call everyone a narcissist. And, like, I'm trying to, like, if there's situations that come up, I'm trying to, like, make it clear. I'm like, well, yeah, they're acting kind of narcissistic, but that doesn't mean that they have NPD. And then there's people out there who call everyone a narcissist and think everyone has narcissism and NPD and think everyone's doing Darvo and stuff, where it's like, those people who usually blanket call anyone that they don't get along with, those people usually are the problem, not the person they're talking about. Yeah. Is that the sound of backpedaling? Yeah, exactly. Justice working is such a flipping cop-out. To be honest, I mean, it backfired on her, and now she's paying for it, right? People are calling her out on her bullshit, you know? And yeah, what Joan said here, she said, you believe victims, but you also need proof before reporting it. It looks bad for victims when someone, even one person, lies. We have seen it before on the internet. Yeah. When a victim or a person pretends to be a victim, lies, and then gets outed as lying, then everyone thinks, oh, well, the majority of these women just lie. You know, it makes it harder for all of us, right? So you do want to try to get enough proof. And honestly, I usually try to handle this stuff quietly behind the scenes. Like, this doesn't need to be on stream or on a video. It's crazy that she's putting it out there. Also, I'm not going to do a spell on anyone who doesn't ask me to do a spell on them. I think that that's very invasive, and like, it's not ethical. You know what I mean? Like, even if I had a friend who's like, hey, I'm being harassed and attacked by this person, I don't know that person. right? So I'm not going to like do a binding spell on them, but my friend, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do like a protection spell on you kind of thing, right? Actually, even when I do binding spells, when I do them, I just bind them from paying attention to me or that person. Like that's what I'll do is like, when I do my binding spell, I'm like, I bind you from doing harm to me, talking about me, knowing about me, thinking about me. So like, essentially I do like a cord cut kind of thing and a binding where it's like, I just want you to like leave me alone and go away. And then I throw them in the freezer. So that's sort of what I do, you know? So that's like the closest thing to like doing a spell on someone that didn't ask for it is probably binding, but I'm not really doing it on them. I'm kind of saying like, I want you to not think about me or engage with me anymore kind of thing. So I think it's kind of gray area, but her doing like a justice spell on someone like that, like that's a little bit much, you know? Yeah. It's annoying. It's never facts against facts. It's facts against feelings. Yeah, that's a problem. I think is like, we got to fact check stuff. And sometimes we don't have enough proof. And that's why, like, there are people I talk to where we don't have enough proof and other creators aren't taking them seriously on the harassment that they face in this community. And they're just not going to without proof. But, you know, I take them seriously. I'm listening to them. Like, I'm not going to do like a public video on it, but I'm like, okay, I will protect my channel and my community on my channel from this person. You know what I mean? I'll like ban them, remove them, whatever it might be. And then I let certain creators know, you know, this is happening. There is no proof, you know, like necessarily other than their story. And, you know, so sometimes it happens, but that's why I feel like we should keep it private because anyone could take any one of our stories and pick it apart and then try to blame the victim. Like that's classic. It always happens. Yeah. Most people that make it public are really launching a pity party. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to just bring it public like that. Kiwi or feelings against feelings. Facts too often seem to be going out the window or just playing wrong over the past decade. Yeah, Scarlet Grey Witch. Yeah, like I would say definitely like COVID, like Joan said earlier. I think COVID was like the breaking point of like intelligence or something because ever since we had the lockdown, I swear people are dumber.
Would like to give a perspective from someone who is also a victim who I believe described this situation very well.
So as an SA and trafficking survivor myself who has had a particularly difficult recovery, I do feel uniquely qualified to speak on the fact that trauma makes you do really weird and a lot of times unhealthy things. Taking advantage of the fact that you went through what you went through in order to gain special favor, in order to absolve yourself of accountability, in order to get your way, can be a trauma response. You know, you go through horrible, horrible things, and then you feel like you are owed something once you get out of that situation, because it's not fair that you had to go through that. So obviously you need some sort of compensation, right? That makes so much sense to the unhealed mind. But let me make it so abundantly clear that this is not a healthy trauma response. This is not a socially favorable trauma response. This is not an acceptable trauma response. This is a trauma response that is going to get you in trouble. You are responsible for your own actions, and you are to be held accountable for your own actions, even if you're a survivor, even if it's a direct product of your PTSD. It is an explanation that it's a direct product of your PTSD, but not an excuse. And I really wouldn't be surprised if Satch Moon Magic wasn't already served a cease and desist. I wouldn't be surprised if Satch Moon Magic ends up getting sued over this, especially because she seems so hyper-fixated on Loki right now and has made allegations against him without having any sort of supporting evidence. Whether or not Loki actually did something, I don't know. But regardless, what Sag is doing right now could very well be considered slander. Once again, this behavior is unhealthy and it will get you in trouble. It will get you in trouble. It is deeply damaging socially. And the trauma is valid, that should go without saying. But this behavior being a trauma response does not absolve her of any accountability. The last thing I want is for other survivors and just people in general to see this behavior and think that it's a helpful way to deal with trauma and get justice.
I think that this person explained that.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing. Like, if you have such bad mental health because you're dealing with trauma or whatever, you're still working through stuff, that's fine. It's understandable, like that maybe you made mistakes because of this, but maybe you shouldn't be a content creator. Maybe you should take a few months off, go to therapy, sort yourself out. Because if you can't properly handle public scrutiny and can't properly handle creating content like this, and then you say it's because you're having mental health issues, then stop. Put the phone down, take a few months off, go to therapy, you know? What she talked about with the trauma, I can promise you it would be astounding. Any of these people went through trauma like I have, you know, dying 3 times sucks. Yeah, essentially this woman, I know you came in late, Sag Moon or whatever, she goes, she kind of spreads misinformation and gossip and lies. And then when she gets called out on it, she'll be like, well, I'm a victim of abuse, so that's why I did it. Like, you know, like she's kind of like using her trauma as an excuse for making mistakes and not being accountable for her actions, because she's been hurting a lot of people, right?
This very well. I think it just goes to show that like Sag Moon is very reactionary, and speaking from a very triggered place, Sag Moon kind of strikes me as the person who like feels so deeply in like their own justice and feels like this is all very justified, whether that's true or not. Like personally, I don't think that her going out and doing all of this and lying about people and spreading misinformation, spreading sensitive information about people, it's just not right. It's not right. But no matter how much you try to like confront her about it or hold her accountable, she is always just going to say, well, I'm a victim. Well, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim, which is originally why Loki called it out, said, you know, you kind of do that a lot.
Bigger picture speaking, I'd just like to point out the irony of what is going on right now in this community specifically. Women standing up against misogyny and trying to deconstruct the patriarchy in the witch community are actively being hunted and smeared and slandered for doing that, which I think is just absolutely crazy.
So she just makes like a bunch of videos similar to this. I'm being smeared, my character's being smeared, even though you quite literally do that to other people. I'm being smeared, I'm this, I'm trying to stand up for victims and misogyny and this and that, but it's like all coming from the wrong place. You are choosing.
To be honest, she's technically abusing these people, bringing up all their trauma, throwing it back in their face, attacking them, making up lies about them, getting people to attack them. She is acting like an abuser right now. Her spell that she did is a justice spell, right? Everything that she's facing right now, this is her spell coming back on her because she fucked up. Her spell is hitting her because she's the one who's actually the issue here. So yeah, it's frustrating when people use trauma as a defense for bad actions. Exactly. No, I totally agree. Okay, I think we have like one more thing here. No, 2 more. Because I do wanna circle back to the Alex Reed's Tarot, because this all started with the Alex Reed's Tarot.
Using the wrong people, you are twisting things, you are mischaracterizing people because of this sense of justice that you have within you that quite honestly is just like contradicting itself. Sag Moon just made all of these videos, just will not back down, keeps doubling down even when people come forward with proof, with evidence. It's like talking to a brick wall, quite honestly. And then that is when Charm released his apology video that we watched earlier on in this video. He released it. He apologized for everything and then also exposed Sag Moon Magic for all of the things that she was essentially lying about to make him look bad and kick him while he's down. And in the most comical turn of events ever, this is what Sag Moon Magic posted right after his apology video.
I am done being Sag Moon Magic. For the time being, I'm done being her. I don't want to be her right now, at least for the time being. She is being utterly and completely slandered by half the internet. And for what? Calling out a creator that some of you thought was funny for abusive behavior, and then having the script completely flipped and being accused of it myself the day after I was fucking brave enough to make that post.
Where is the abusive behavior? I'm just wondering. She essentially quits TikTok. We will watch some more of this video. People are coming out with evidence against things that you have said against them, proving you wrong, quite literally proving you and the things that you say wrong, exposing you for being a liar and for quite honestly starting drama with people, and you just double down and say, no, I'm being smeared by abusers and I'm done. I'm just done being Sag Moon Magic right now. I quit TikTok. Instead of just saying like I was wrong or I'm sorry for lying. Nope, just I quit and I'm done doing this.
No, I'm done. I don't want to be Sag Moon Magic anymore. This is too much. Like, I need a break. I will still be doing client work and taking clients. If you have inquiries about spell work, please email me. I have a sale going on from now until the end of Mercury retrograde, and I will still be doing client work during that time. But please, if you are clients, email me if you are interested in spell work or want updates on your spell work. Please make sure you are emailing me and not DMing me, because I just might not be on this app that much. Because I need a break from being Sag Moon Magic. Being Sag Moon Magic is fucking overwhelming. It's sad. It's depressing as fuck right now, and I don't want to be her. I just need to be Sophie for a little bit. Like, Sophie deserves a break from being Sag Moon Magic. Sophie is an abuse survivor. Sophie has severe PTSD, and it's super autistic and bipolar, and is very overwhelmed by everything that is going on right now. And frankly triggered for being accused of a lot of the same shit that literally put me in the hospital. And I know that sometimes going through stuff like this is just kind of like a part of being on the internet, but as an autistic person, it's very hard not to internalize a lot of the things that are being said about.
Okay, well, she has every single right to leave the internet after all of this. But again, it's just kind of the same thing. I'm a survivor. I have this many ailments. People are smearing me, this, that.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to kind of like wrap this video up here. But yeah, so like, they're right. Like she's essentially, she was abused and now she's abusing others as like, it seems like this is like she gets off on it or something, you know? But it is good she's taking a break. I think she should take a break and she needs to go to therapy because you can't be a content creator when you're this volatile and just quick to like spread a bunch of shit. At least like own that you lied. You know what I mean? Like apologize for it or something, you know? She did do this to herself, and that spell that she cast, this is what happens. When you cast spells to do bad things on people or to try to like, because like, yes, her spell is kind of not like bad black magic, but it's like, it was teetering because you're essentially saying, go out and like throw justice at this person because they're evil, right? It's like, you don't know that they are though. And that will all come back on you and backfire on you, right? So yeah. I normally shut down and retreat and wave my white flag. Now I stand up for others. Yeah. She did it herself. Yeah. So she's going on a disassociation phase now. Yeah. I mean, honestly, she should start therapy. She needs some help. So now that was all the like weird drama inside the Witch Talk community, but it all started again with Alex Reads Tarot. Alex Reads Tarot quitting tarot to become Christian. All right. So now we're going to circle back and talk about that here. You're a fool if you think Cam is wonderful. Who's Cam? I don't know. I have no idea who Cam is. I will soon be Scarlet, so keep an eye on my channel. Oh, sorry for technically advertising that. No, you can advertise. You're fine. You're fine. You're cool. Obviously, you know. I don't know who that person's talking about. Okay, so I want to take a look at Kellyanne Maddox. So now she did do a video when Alex Reads Tarot first quit tarot, and it should be a pretty good video, and I do want to look at it, but we'll look at it at the end because we might run out of time if we do it now. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys this because she did this video 2 weeks ago, but if you go to her posts, she actually says here that she's calling out Alex 5 days ago. So she's saying Alex Reads Tarot is now banging on about how witchcraft is self-obsessed. This dickhead's been a Bible licker for... She gets mean. Okay. She's preaching like she's the second coming. She's telling us now she knows the truth, but we're self-obsessed. Alex, I hope you would be better than ending up in one of my Christian ex-witches episodes, which we should watch some of those at one point too, because they're very entertaining. But no, guess I'll see you in the next one then. Hope the holy boot of brainwash tastes excellent. And I think this is the same post. Yeah, so she posted that on Instagram as well. So is there anything? No. Okay. So that's the only thing I found. So I'm like, okay, where's Alex's videos where she's like talking about this stuff, right? So I did find this. Her original TikTok account is officially gone. Walking away, embracing Christianity, all that. Okay. So she had like 1 million or a couple million followers. Then here, there's just someone reporting on it as well. I don't see if they said anything interesting, but I don't. Okay. Her story is a beautiful reminder that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace, the gospel power. Okay. This is like Jesus' only way to heaven. All right. I wanted to see what this video was. Okay. Hold on. Because I just kind of came across it, but I'm not sure what it's about.
She's so influential that the band Paramore even referenced her in one of their massive songs. For context, this was kind of her aesthetic when she was into the tarot card thing, and then she releases this video.
I want to play it from the beginning. I don't like the web browser.
Is one of the leading influencers that does. So Alex Reads Tarot is one of the leading influencers that does the tarot card thing on TikTok. She's so influential that the band Paramore even referenced her in one of their massive songs. For context, this was kind of her aesthetic when she was into the tarot card thing, and then she releases this video changing her name from Alex Reads Tarot to Alex in the Ordinary.
Over the past nearly a year, my faith has become the most important thing in my life. Through that journey, I've spent a lot of time reflecting, questioning, praying, and trying to understand my faith more and where God was starting to lead me. And sometimes we think we're headed in one direction, and over time we find ourselves going somewhere a little bit different.
Ain't that the truth? I mean, so many people who you would never think would become followers of Jesus, never think would turn their life around, end up becoming not just casual Christians that go to church occasionally, but like devoted Christians.
I really want to emphasize too that this hasn't been an overnight change, and this has been a gradual journey that has slowly changed the way that I see my life and my faith. For a long time, I hoped that I could somehow reconcile everything that I was experiencing and continue as I always had, with no changes needed. And so I continued doing readings, I continued doing sessions, but whilst I did so, I was still quietly wrestling with these questions in the background, because truthfully, I was still trying to understand what God was revealing to me. The more that I prayed, the more that I reflected and sought God, the more that I realized that I couldn't ignore where this journey was leading me.
Often the most expected people, the people you think are the furthest from God, are often the most willing to come to God. So
Okay, so that's like a little summary of our video, because I don't think we had our video at the beginning of the first stream that we did. But as you can see, like when things initially started, that video is not so bad. She's not being preachy. She's not trying to convert people. And that video caused all this drama that we just covered. Like it freaking blew everything up. So now though, Alex Reads Tarot is apparently getting real preachy and weird. So it's now happening. Now we can critique her for it. But before, people were critiquing her before she even had a chance to do this. Yeah. Save her life from what? Her life wasn't in danger. Yeah, that's a thing. It was, with her saying that is kind of like, okay, so she thinks that tarot is like evil and stuff, right? Also, hey Dust. Oh, hey Taryn. Welcome. I got power at 2 a.m. last night. Oh, man, yeah, you're sharing some pictures. You got like tornado stuff happening. I swear you're living in like Tornado Alley now, huh? I'm frustrated that these people do not acknowledge that the witch or Satanist to Christian pipeline has been done before. It's always about the money. Yeah, I mean, Scarlett, you might be right that she's just doing this for money. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. No, I could see that for sure. Let's see what this guy was saying, because I thought he was saying something a little interesting.
Anyone is attacking Alex Reads Tarot. I certainly didn't in my last video. If you think I was, it's because you're soft and I'm abrasive. I actually think it's good that she's going through the motions of spirituality and religion now while she's young rather than later in life. And I think it's such a non-issue because so many spiritual people also are Christian or incorporate Christianity in some way. The hoodooists, the Appalachian folk witches, like she could have just got some angel oracle cards and called it a day. However,
yeah, like, so before she started preaching and doing all this is what I was saying is I'm like, what's the big deal? Like anyone can be whatever religion they want. Like there's Christian witches even now, you know, like we don't have to put ourselves in a box. Now, when you start preaching and saying that we're evil, now we have a problem, Alex, but she didn't say this at this point. So yeah.
If you don't like that people are talking about her, honey, when the cup runneth over, the tea must be spilt, and that's the gag. It is a perpetual law of the universe. The geese will gaggle. The crows will caw. Also, to all the tarot readers popping in like, oh, I'm here. Alex Reads Tarot cards are still warm. We haven't even buried the body. You're sick. Anyways, when the cup runneth over, the tea will be spilt. Get over it. And she had cunty brows. You can't even trust a cunty brow these days. You never know.
This guy's funny. Riot Adams, go follow him. He's funny. Oh, is this the pigeon from the war? Oh, he's commenting about Michaela. Charm versus Ruby. Okay, this is the witch talk drama. I don't know. This guy might be funny, actually. Atheist witch enters the chat. That's interesting. Atheist witch. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. He seems kind of fun. I like it. Okay, so this is her new account now. So let's take a look and see like kind of what she talks about. If there's music playing, I'm just gonna like flip past it because copyright. So we'll see. Yeah, he said that she has cunty brows. I don't know what that means. Her eyebrows look normal. Like, what are cunty... Oh, it has to be a gay or drag thing. Hold on. Cunty eyebrows. I don't know what that means. Sharp, fierce, high impact brows that exude extreme confidence, attitude, and sexual appeal. They usually features laminated lift, bleach, or color match contrast, or razor sharp arch paired with confident micro expression. I mean, I try to like shave my brows to like have like a more defined shape, but my eyebrow hair is like really long and it's super annoying to try to like do myself. So my one eyebrow, this one, looks good. This one's always not looking good. My eyebrows are definitely not symmetrical. All right, let's see what she's saying. It is a compliment. I mean, I like eyebrows like that, to be honest. Okay, where's the audio? This is probably music.
Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever.
Okay. Scripture for those feeling discouraged or scared. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Well, it's not horrible.
I just got finished doing my first 3-day fast. And yes, it was to break strongholds. Yes, it was to remove distractions. And yes, it was to focus on God. But one of the things that I noticed, that if anybody else needs this, as soon as I turned my phone back on, because I did a breaking of the stronghold over technology, so no TV, no music, no social media, phone was switched off, like everything, like literally no technology whatsoever. We've got to be protecting ourselves. I know social media is a great tool for sharing the gospel, and I'm all for that. But the heaviness that I had as soon as switching my phone...
Honestly, she really needs to be in therapy. She's going through something, and I do think she needs a therapist to help her along the way. Even if she has a priest. Like, because the priests are, most of them, if it's an official real church, whatever, somewhat official church, they tend to be trained in this stuff. Kids say cunty now instead of sexy. Ah, okay. I see. Like what Divine used to wear. Okay. He is the light that shone so I could recognize the truth I'd be searching for my whole life. Is she normally that skinny?
If you've been struggling on your walk with Christ, I want to read you something from Galatians 6. It's Galatians 6 verse 9. So don't get tired of doing what is good, don't get discouraged and give up, for we will reap a harvest of blessing at the...
One of the comments, what's your opinion on how the Bible views and oppresses women? I'm very curious. That's true. Read the verses that talk about misogyny. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you're going to flip over from witchcraft and a cult over into the Bible, you really do need to kind of discuss how women are treated and referenced in it. In my opinion, I think it's fair. But I mean, I guess this isn't really her audience anymore. So, who Divine is? I don't know who Divine is. Is it like a band? Is it a drag queen? What is it? I mean, if I Google it, it's just going to give me the word Divine. Oh, wait, the drag queen. Yeah, I know who this is. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, so she's...
I'm sitting out here with my little friend. She follows me every...
You're saying... Okay, so now this one says, you're saying ask questions while also saying don't question it. Hold on. These comments are actually pretty good, so let me just throw myself here.
everywhere. And I was reflecting on First Timothy.
And this person, as a new Christian, I struggle with parts of the Bible that say women should be silenced. That's something I'm feeling uncomfortable with at this minute. Yeah, these are the questions that you should be asking. Listen, you can believe in like Jesus or God or whatever. Like, I really don't see an issue with that. I see an issue with the additional texts that were written to like control the people, right? Like, you don't have to take the Bible literally. Just kind of take the teachings and the idea and be a good person, you know? Cunty says sexy. The hubris of newly converted. Yeah. Taryn, is taken back from queer culture, like most slang. Okay. Hey, Matthew, how's it going? All right. So I don't want to like listen to these. Are very long. Like, is there a summary out there somewhere?
Ezekiel 2 and 3 this morning, and there's something that I want to share with you. And apologies for any glare. It's a bit sunny here this morning, but we're not going to complain. Hallelujah. We've been given another day, air in our lungs, and restful sleep. So praise God. I was prompted to read this by one of my sisters in Christ.
Okay, that's fine.
As people close to me in my life have started to try to become more accustomed to my walk and to my faith, it's something that I want to share with you. And it's from 1 Corinthians 13. And I just circled the entirety of 1 Corinthians 13. But it's right at the very end when it says, there are 3 things that will endure.
She has the music in the background. I have no idea if this is going to get copyrighted.
Which is faith, love, and hope.
Stupid
and
music.
The greatest of these is love. And in conversations, and maybe this is quite common with people when they are newly coming to Christ and people around them are essentially watching this and observing this shift and this change. Yes, we are told that you will recognize people by their fruits, but we don't sometimes realize that non-believers and people who are not on this path around us will also see those fruits, but may not fully understand what those fruits mean. It's like I have had comments made about, my demeanor has changed. I'm a lot more relaxed or subdued, or is this all that we're ever going to talk about? It's those kinds of comments. And I understand it. I do get it. I'm compassionate enough and empathetic enough to put myself in that person's position and go, I understand it. But at the same time, I'm not going to compromise my walk with Christ to accommodate becoming lukewarm, to become lackadaisical, because that's just not what I'm prepared to do. But in 1 Corinthians 13, it literally says, if I could speak in any language in heaven or on earth but didn't love others, I would only be making meaningless noises like a loud gong or a clanging cymbal. And this is what I have explained to people in my life, and I hope that this word can maybe help anybody else who is new to their faith and is trying to navigate relationships with their parents, relationships with their friends, with their family, with colleagues, with anybody that you essentially knew you. Again, it's like Jesus says, people from his hometown rebuked him because they knew him as a child, and we understand that. And it's also having that compassion that we get that people are seeing this switch. But the main focus here is that the greatest of these is love. If I can't give someone reassurance, which I can't always give reassurance, if I can't say to you, yes, I completely condone the life that you are leading, because I'm not going to do that if it compromises the truth that I now know and that I now see. But it's like I've said, the greatest thing that I can give anyone and everyone is love. And it's that.
So she's saying like she's not going to condone tarot readers because it's bad, like it's evil.
Patience, and it's that peace that comes from Christ through me towards other people. And this is why worldly love is not always going to be, it doesn't necessarily understand godly love. Worldly love teaches us, like it taught me, to kind of prove and push and do works and these good deeds, but sometimes love is just about sitting and listening to someone's questions, not being able to necessarily have an answer for them in a way that they believe would comfort them, is to say, yeah, that's fine, you continue down your spiritual path, that's fine, I respect it, when I don't. But what a lot of people don't understand in the world is that they equate that with, I don't respect you, I don't respect your choices and your brain as a human being to make your own choices. But we go back to the fall, we go back to the beginning with corruption, with the fall. It's there. It's not an indoctrination. It's just the fact. And it's like I was reading before about why so many people in the world were saying, but why would an all-loving God allow for this to happen? And why would he allow for this? And where is God? But what a lot of us tend to forget, which I did before I came to my faith, is, but how are you contributing? Whilst you may not be doing all these extreme acts of evil, you still lie, you still cheat, you still curse, you have possibly caused issue in someone's relationship, you maybe cheated. Like, we always want to focus as human beings on the very extreme things, but then as soon as someone's actually getting really real about their faith, then that's an extreme. And I think that there needs to be a little bit of just gentle questioning and gentle probing within your own heart and within your own thoughts about that, because it just reeks of hypocrisy. It reeks of that human hypocrisy that we all fall into. And like I've said to people that I love and that I'm close to, I don't have all the answers. It would be arrogant for me to say that I have all the answers. I'm still learning. But just because I say that I'm still learning doesn't mean to say that my faith is weak. Doesn't mean to say that I don't have full faith in what Jesus Christ did for me on the cross. And it doesn't mean to say that I'm just going to put up and shut up, that, I'm going to engage in every single conversation now, because I truly might not. So if there's one word that you could take away, I would say have a read of 1 Corinthians 13, the entirety of it, and just see that how, without loving...
Like, I feel like that she should do a video to explain why she became Christian, because she's sounding culty. Like I don't understand, because she wasn't Christian at all, and now she's just like flip a switch, but she's like really sounding like super Christian. So like, what happened? I think that that's everyone's biggest thing, and maybe she should do like a video telling her story of how she became a Christian, how she like found this faith. I think that would probably do better for her to like explain, because I think that's the biggest thing that people, because she kind of sounds like a little weird. Well, not weird, but like, I don't know. It's people that like knock on your doors and talk like this.
Others, none of what you do, none of what you say matters. And it's how I've explained it to people. It makes me emotional talking about it. I talk about this stuff because I love you. I talk about this stuff because I care, because it's a different kind of love that I've been shown. And when you have that kind of love revealed to you, you truly then start to understand what it means to love others. And a lot of people say, what, so you didn't love other people before? I'm like, not in a godly way, not in a righteous way, not in a way where as human beings we want something back, we want to be validated. It's worldly love versus godly love. And I would just say, if you don't have the answer for people close to you on this path who are asking you questions, it's okay to say that you don't know, but the biggest thing that you have for them is love, because love truly matters. But love does not, it doesn't condone sin, but love covers a multitude of sins. It is about forgiveness, it's about empathy, it's about understanding that ultimately we are all sinners. We are all sinners, we are all flawed fundamentally, and acknowledging and praising and being so in love with what Jesus did for me and for all of us on that cross. So whilst it maybe doesn't give, bona fide answers to everything, because like I said, sometimes we are still learning as Christians, love is just sometimes enough for the time being. Love will always be enough. That godly love, not worldly love, godly love. So I just want to share that with you today. As people close to me in my life.
Okay. I just want to look at some of these comments, to be honest. If you're moving to Christianity based off fear of going to hell, you're being tricked. I don't think she said that she was going to hell. Did she? So basically what you're saying is you're losing people because you're judging your loved ones on how they choose to believe. She was kind of saying that, right? But they're hypocrites for not believing what you do. Yeah, that's a good point. I think it goes, yeah, it can go both ways. Hey, just letting you know that religion, spirituality isn't a box. You can mix and match. Exactly. And plenty of practitioners will use scripture, and that's okay. This might be something where having an intimate relationship with your religious practice without it being online may help you through this process. Public interaction with faith can sway your thoughts and choices. This person has a good point. Because you can be a Christian and still do tarot. You can be a Christian and be a witch. Like, she just kind of like leaned into this real hard, The word programmed comes to mind. Yeah, like she seems like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Listening to the stream at the beginning when I was playing, all right, Jackie. She'd be a pain in the arse at office parties. Oh God, she'd be so boring. Excuse me, just because I don't worship a God and am not Christian doesn't mean I'm incapable of spiritual love. Yeah, like what she's saying is like a little bit, I understand why people are being offended by it. People in the community that she was always close with. Like, I get it. Let's see. Is there anything? You turn your back on your community. Oh, okay. Let's see what's happening here. No. How do I stop it? Stop. I know my shift has caused waves, but I cannot say sorry for finding Jesus. He opened my eyes to the reality of the spiritual world. When I speak out against witchcraft now, okay, so she is speaking out against witchcraft. Okay. It doesn't come from malice or forgetting where it came from. It comes from a place of deep love. When you encounter the ultimate truth, you naturally want the people you care about to see it. Two, I accept that this truth causes friction, but my silence would mean I don't care about your soul and I care too much to stay quiet. This feels really culty. This kind of feels culty. Like it feels like she's been like programmed. Nothing says love like a religion that puts down women. Yeah. She is sounding evangelical. Yes. Yeah. It's one-sided. It is very condescending, culty. Yeah. It's a little bit. Okay, which one was that? That one. Talk about New Age to Christ. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So she's starting her videos kind of like how she started the tarot thing. She's like, a moment for the word. Just like she started the tarot thing of like showing a card. Stop. This card is for you or something. So she's following the same method for content creation, but now it's Christianized. I do want to talk. I want to watch that one, so we'll get to that one. Answered prayers, fellowship, suffering in darkness. In darkness, yeah, okay. I think we should watch this one. My testimony. Okay, I feel like there is a lot here, and I know I haven't watched it all. I know. I came very prepared, okay? Is there one from the beginning? Okay, because this is a new account, right? Okay, let's watch. Okay, hold on. Let me look at these ones. Hold on. Come on. Load.
Conversation with you as someone who came out of New Age and has now turned my life over to Christ. Yes, I'm going to evangelize. Yes, I'm going to share some of the gospel with you, but it is
okay. So she's
good purpose.
Evangelical.
I didn't really
she's saying that
until I came out of the craft and to walking with Christ, how self-obsessed the craft made me. I mean, you think.
Okay. So this is the video that what's her name? Kelly had an issue with. Is this one?
Think about it. Glamour magic, manifestation, power rituals, all these things are designed and were designed to essentially encroach upon our own and other people's free will. It's a power trip. It's tools for control. It's the ability that we are told that we have to manifest. You know, to do love spells, to do glamour magic, to literally manifest your physical appearance changing. That's not normal. In what world would that be normal? And when I'm looking...
Honestly, it's the same as like, okay, you pray to God. You're like, God, please, I love this man, or I want to find love and I want to get married. Please answer my prayers. That's the same as a love spell. Glamour magic, I mean, people pray to God too if they really think they're that ugly or whatever. Like, it's the same thing. There's a reason why Catholicism is so, I always forget this word, ceremonial, because it was trying to mimic pagan practices to convert the pagans. Like, there's a reason why church is so similar.
At it now, I'm kind of going, yeah, I was led a merry dance and other people are still being led a merry dance, which is why I want to talk about it. The New Age and the occult will teach you that you have power that you actually shouldn't have access to, and power that you have access to, and you don't truly know who's giving you that power. And it's not God. Some of you will sit there and say, it is God. It is God. No, it's not. You're signing contracts with demons and you're signing contracts with the Dark Kingdom, with the devil himself. You're dancing with the devil, and whilst it seems like a merry jig right now, you're digging yourself into a deeper pit. I mean, let's have a conversation about it. And these are all things that I've renounced and that I have been delivered from, and I'm continuing to be delivered from. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. But these are things like the O method. And I don't, by any means, I don't want people researching this stuff. I'm not saying go and do this stuff, go and research it. I'm just saying, for those of you that are still in the New Age and in the occult, listen to what I'm saying. The O method, glamour magic, candle magic, doing curses and hexes and all this.
Like, I agree, doing curses and hexes, I think it's bad. I don't think people should do it. It can come back and bite you in the ass, as we've seen with the witch talk drama. I am against that. It doesn't mean that all witchcraft is bad. It's just some people are doing bad things with it. Just like some people use Jesus's name as a reason why they can, like, kill people. You know what I mean? Like, you can apply this to any religion, you know? Yeah. Scarlet Zombie, not just misrepresented. Beginning with the Council of Rome, they decided which scriptures were made public and which were locked away. Yes. Yeah, there's a bunch of scripture that is locked away because they wanted the people to be shaped in a certain way. So, like, that's sort of the problem with Christianity. There's too many men in history who controlled the message, changed the message, and it's now evolved into this. And evangelicals, like, I mean, it's a whole thing, you know. She's so wrong. Here we go with the devil crap. Yeah. Prayers are not manifesting. Exactly. It's the same thing. Same thing. So, okay. So I understand why Kelly and other people are upset. It's not just Kelly. There's other witches that are also upset about this too. So
you've ever known.
I get
Coming
it.
to Christ can sometimes be quite an overwhelming experience. I myself am someone who has struggled a lot in my life with anxiety, with depression, with lots of different variations of that. Let's just say that.
I wonder, like, if she had like a substance abuse problem and like found the 12-step program or something. Like, I'm just confused. The complete flip, like something happened that caused her to just completely flip, right? It's just weird. Yeah. We need to stop blaming everything on the devil. Yeah. All right. Let's watch the first one and then we'll just kind of see from there.
Me first. That is the Gospel of John 15. If the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. That is the Gospel of John 15:18. And how appropriate of a message to start off to kickstart this new page with. I just want to remind you, because of what I've been what I've been going through, a walking testimony of that fact. And sometimes when we humans hear that, we can sometimes become quite snide, quite condescending, quite aggressive, quite egocentric. But if the world hates you, remember it hated Jesus first. They crucified him. And what I've been working through with Jesus is the truth of his crucifixion. I remember a few weeks ago, I watched The Passion of the Christ for the first time, and I wept.
Okay. The Passion of the Christ, was that the Mel Gibson thing? Isn't that like very problematic? I remember it back in the day. It was a very problematic movie. Pretty sure it was Mel Gibson, right? Yeah, the controversy of it. It was graphic, unrelenting brutality. It's alleged perpetuation of anti-Semitic stereotypes, because Mel Gibson is anti-Semite. Critics argue the film's depiction of Jewish authorities demanding Jesus's death revived harmful historical tropes, while others condemned its extreme focus on physical torture. There was a lot of torture in that movie. Like, it was unnecessary. Yeah, there's anti-Semitism allegations, graphic violence, biblical and historical accuracy. There's, yeah, the movie also wasn't accurate. So did this movie lead her down this path? Because that's a little concerning, because that's not a good movie to start off your journey on. Another problem is the sheer amount of people this incorrect info is reaching. Yeah, exactly. Look at John Todd. He couldn't reach nearly this amount of people. Yet the effect on those living at Ruby Ridge. You have to remind me about all that. I can't remember. Is that like an American story? I don't know all the American stories. I do love how Christians ignore the supernatural within the Bible, but every other religion is supernatural and evil. Yeah, Tracy, I know. It's like, seriously, it's just like the Bible, it's not that far off of the occult. And there were like other occult like organizations that sort of were created based on the Bible. They were still Christian, like Rosicrucian, which is what I was raised in. It's based on the Order of the Rosy Cross. It's still actually based in Christianity, but they're exploring the occult, and they're exploring the occult aspects of historical texts and occult things that might be in the Bible. Like they're exploring the more supernatural side of this stuff, right? It's just like, it's so weird when these evangelicals just kind of like seem to be blinded by it. So, who influenced her to watch Passion of the Christ? I thought that movie was made by a hardcore Catholic. Yeah, it was made Mel Gibson, an anti-Semite. Yeah. For example, he had only cassettes and live talks, yet has reached to helping cause a satanic panic. Oh, satanic panic. Yeah. I keep saying Jesus F listening to her. Yeah. Yeah. Waco type thing. Gotcha. Jesus Christ Superstar was much better. Yeah. Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah. Jesus wouldn't have wanted to be remembered for any torture and death. He would have wanted to be remembered for the words that he said. Like, this is where, like, a lot of evangelicals and like, sorry to say, but American Christians get lost in the sauce. It's like they forget that the words that Jesus said. He didn't want people to be attacking each other or judging each other or any of this, you know? Recovering people or converts all get pretty excited about their new lease on life. Yeah, I just wonder, like, was she facing a health issue? Was there, like, something going on? Because it's just, you know, I thought Ruby Ridge, Ruby Ridge, this sounds familiar. You know, it's something is clicking in my brain about it. They found all John's tapes and texts at Ruby Ridge. He introduced the entire Illuminati, devil worship, and witches crap. Okay. Wasn't that racist? Mel Gibson Vanity Project? Yes, exactly. That's what it was, Old Spirit. If this movie is what shaped her, it's a little concerning. It's not a good movie for that. Sorry to say,
as obvious
but
as it may be, we sometimes forget to take everything back to the Lord. This is why we are told to not lean.
Mercury in retrograde, full moon, Cancer, because at work. Thought you were done posting. Yeah, she did say she wasn't going to post anything, but I guess she needs money, right? The way everyone is upset just lets you know she's doing the right thing for herself. You could say that about anything. I mean, she can do what she wants. That's fine. But I think the issue right now is that she is judging people for being witches and tarot readers when there's nothing really wrong with that, to be honest. There's plenty of Christian witches and stuff out there. Okay, so let's take a look at... Here, I wanted to grab this. Okay, so Kelly... All right, Kelly and Maddox. Okay. Let me just... find this here. Hold on. So, like, if there's people who have issues with Kelly because she talks about political topics, whatever, that's your problem. She covers a lot of stuff that I think is important. She talks about billionaires, like, and their role in society. She talks about, I know she talks about transphobia and stuff in the tarot community. Fascists. She talks about fascism a lot. Met Gala, you know, that's essentially like let them eat cake kind of bullshit. Transphobia and tarot. How could I be so mean to fascists? Yeah. Today I'll be explaining capitalism. Don't tell me to shut the fuck up. She's very outspoken, and I really don't think there's an issue with that. And she goes to protests and stuff, and so be it, right? In the end, she puts out more good in the world than bad, and she tries to help support good causes, in my opinion. So if anyone has an issue with her because she's political, I don't care. Okay. Passion is a Catholic thing. It's not even in the Bible. No, yeah, it's not. It's not. Ruby Ridge was American, like, Marine movie. It sounds familiar. It does. The FBI killed half a family. And Waco, like, I know there's a lot of problems with, like, cult stuff, for sure. I'm a Christian, but only in the sense that I believe that Jesus was the Son of God and all that. Otherwise, I'm a very strange Christian. Honestly, if you just take what Jesus said, which I don't believe in, like, in Abrahamic or, well, really any God. Okay, I don't really believe in gods and deities in that sense. But I do believe Jesus was a real person, and I do believe that he was a good person, and I do think that the things he said were good. And if Christians just followed their life like he said, you know, like, we would be in a better spot with this. But instead, they use Jesus as, like, a way to attack people, and he would not want that. All right. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with people that are Christian or people that are trying to be good people or believe in God, but I have a problem with, like, people that are using it as, like, a tool to attack others. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just noticed your tattoo, so I don't know if you've had it for a while. Yeah, I've had this one for like 3 years, I think. Something like that. There's a great informative podcast about the John Todd phenomenon. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, so I'll have to check it out. Yeah. All right, passion related to the Christ. What he goes through before dying on the cross. Yeah, the movie was, I watched it because, like, I actually do find religion very interesting. I like talking about it. I like debating it. I know people like never talk about religion or politics. Those are like the two things I enjoy talking about. I try to stay away from politics too much on YouTube just because of the current climate that we're in. All right. But if we weren't in this current climate, then I would tackle some topics. But I love religion. I'll talk about it. So there was so much drama and controversy around that movie. So like I did go watch it because I'm like, I want to understand what the hell happened to Mel Gibson. Cause this was around the time when he started going loopy. And then I wanted to see what the issue was with this movie. And it was very, 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 very graphic, like torture level movie. I'm like, this is unnecessary. It really is. Yeah. It's supposed to help, not be a weapon. Yeah, Christianity and all this stuff, all your belief structures are supposed to be like a good thing to help people and yourself, you know? So, Occult Confessions did a couple good episodes as well. All right, I'll have to take a look at it, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to just briefly look at this because she talks about Alex Reads Tarot, but this was like when Alex, I think, made the announcement. So we're going to go back in the past. We don't know yet that Alex has been preaching. This was before she started preaching, as far as I remember, because I watched some of this. So let's take a look at this one here. And I'm not logged into my premium account as per usual. So we're going to
channel. Thank you for joining me.
Okay.
Today. I would like to talk a little bit about Alex Reads Tarot and the great big Christian conversion that just hit the tarot world. Alex Reads Tarot was a TikTok tarot reader with a huge audience on TikTok, close to 1 million followers, very, very popular reader. Did the kind of stuff that I'm not really so into, you know, the kind of thing of like, you know, if you're watching this on the 2nd of July, this is your message, that kind of thing.
Cheap and metallic, like sucking on a greasy coin.
But by all accounts, a very popular and very respected reader over there on that platform. And she recently wiped her entire body of work off of TikTok. Every single video, she got rid of it all. And she replaced it with one simple video, which is her conversion testimony. And I think this is way too interesting of a subject for me not to talk about, particularly because I have a series here on my channel called Christian X Witches, where we explore the testimonies of various different ex-tarot readers, witches and psychics who left all of that delicious mysticism behind to follow the one true God. So this seems like it is in my wheelhouse. People have been asking me to talk about it, so I'm going to go ahead and do so today. This conversion came as a pretty massive shock for a lot of people, I think, especially because Alex was just so visible and so popular in the tarot world. And I believe she got a lot of people started with tarot. She inspired a great many people to finally pick up a deck and do their thing. And I know that she was also a professional tarot reader. She was selling readings, so she obviously had a lot of clients. I think with an audience base that large, she's going to have been a very, very busy professional reader. So yeah, I think a lot of people's heads were spinning. There's been a lot of interesting discourse about it, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents today. Thank you for being with me for this. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, put your hands up for Detroit.
No matter where I am, I always have Detroit dust and dirt on the bottom of my feet, no matter where I stand.
Do the okey cokey and turn around, all that good stuff. And let's get into this. As a professional tarot reader myself for many years now, I do find this very interesting, and I have looked at quite a bit of the discourse on it, but very few of the videos that I've watched actually include that much of Alex's own words. So what I want to do today is actually go through the entire testimony, analyze it, and talk about what I think of it. I want to listen to Alex, and I want to listen specifically to what she has to say about why she's done.
Okay, so she's going to break down her entire video. Okay. This might be long. Okay. She gives thanks and appreciation. She's already a Christian. I'm just going to watch like the end part here. So I don't want to watch the entire thing because it's going to be like very long. Yeah.
I have seen a lot of commentary about how this conversion is indicative of the rise of fascism because Christianity is inherently a white supremacist religion. I don't know the stats on how many tarot readers and witches have been converting over the past few years. I do know that it feels like it is rising in alignment with the political shift, there's no doubt. But if we just take this one example of Alex Reed's tarot, she hasn't actually in this video done any of the typical preachy shit that would indicate any kind of like right-wing agenda or right-wing aligned Christianity. For me, it's always been about the type of Christianity that an individual moves into, okay? Because Christianity is a religion that is big all over the world, and Christians themselves are not necessarily bastions of everything that the church has ever done. They're Christians, they're all different races, they live in all different parts of the world. Christianity actually rocked up, first of all, in the Middle East. There are Christian Palestinians. I have a Christian Palestinian friend who's very much not white, she's Arab. I think when people pigeonhole Christianity in some way, it's because of what they've seen of it, it's because of what they know of it. And certainly in the US, a lot of the Christianity is fucking insidious. It's insidious, it's aligned with what I consider to be the worst.
It's freaking out, it's freaking out. Do I need to log into the other account? Maybe. Okay, hold on.
Channel, thank you for joining me. Today, I would like to talk rising in alignment with the political shift, there's no doubt. But if we just take this one example of Alex Reed's tarot, she hasn't actually in this video done any of the typical the world Christianity actually churches, all the purity culture stuff, all the atrocities committed in the name of Christianity. A lot of those churches, those hardcore evangelical churches operating out of the US, have done the most fucking damage to the most fucking people, and they are the loudest.
Christianity is used by white supremacists and colonizers. It really isn't a white religion. That's why, honestly, I've learned that's why apparently white supremacists now are taking on Odinism, because they're like, well, that was invented by Vikings who were white people, so that's the true white person religion. This is like a thing now. I'm like, that sucks, because I like a lot of the old Viking stuff and now it's ruined. I see Ed's paying you a visit. Yeah, it's just because of the ads. I just need to log into my premium account. But yeah, like, I think that it's really silly in America too, that they always have like a white Jesus. And when you try to like, and then they're complaining about brown people, and it's like, well, you know, Jesus was brown. He wasn't white. And then they get like so up in arms about it. It's like, they've turned it, white people have taken it as their, you know, religion, but really it didn't really start off as a white person religion, you know? Yeah. They would hate Loki. Yeah, they don't really necessarily practice it properly. They just want something, white supremacists just want something to like, whatever, define them, give them an excuse, you know, crap like that.
They are the loudest, okay? So they're often seen as like the ambassadors of Christianity in general. But I don't see them as the entirety of Christians. I don't think that the man-made institution of the church, like I said, is the gatekeeper of Christ or the key holder of the Gospels in any regard. So for me, it's always about the type of Christianity that an individual is moving into. What do we mean by Christianity? I need you to qualify it for me. I need you to qualify it. And I think there's a lot of worry that what Alex is moving into is what a lot of the stuff is that we see online and that I critique in my Christian X Witches series. And if it's that, then it ain't good. I don't have a problem with people being Christian. I only am interested in how it makes them move through society and how it makes them treat other people. I haven't seen Alex displaying anything too concerning in that area in this video. But like I've said many times during the course of my video, the night is fucking young. We do not know what is going to happen going forward. I think for a lot of people that are feeling cynical, skeptical and everything else, they definitely do not think that there is any remote possibility that Alex is going to be able to keep away from trying to pull other people away from tarot and witchcraft. And that's always ugly and it's always gross.
And then she's already doing that.
Our spirituality is none of your business. You left, shut the door behind you. End of discussion, you know? The church is not any one specific Christian individual, okay? But a specific Christian individual may choose a shitty, ignorant, bigoted, dogmatic church, and that says something about how they relate to the idea that Christ is their savior. And, you know, they're wrong. They are wrong. Those churches are arse fucking backwards. If somebody tells me they're a Christian, my personal attitude is not to immediately write them off as a judgmental and unsafe person, but I do have questions. Christians. You know, I am going to need them to qualify what they mean by Christian. And I just think that for me is where I stand. I think a lot of hurt that comes from a lot of witches around Alex's conversion comes from the fact that they have actually never known a decent Christian, really. They've always been surrounded by this.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is kind of true because I've always been, well, since I was 13, I went down the pagan path, and all the time Christians were trying to convert me, telling me that I'm like, you know, my soul's blah, 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 blah. Like, there isn't many Christians that you meet that just are normal people, but I think that there actually is. They just don't preach. I think maybe that's the difference, right? You don't know someone's a normal, not normal, whatever. You don't know that someone's a chill Christian who just wants to be a good person, because they're not going to try to convert you and preach at you, right? So like, I think that we probably do meet a lot of good Christians out there, but we don't know because they're not being assholes. You know what I mean? Yeah. We would deport Jesus. Yeah, ICE would definitely do that. It was a deep search, cover up the conspiracy tapes. All right, you're gonna have to send me all this stuff, Scarlett. Send it to me like an email or something. Reminds me of that trend where people say Christians deserve sunshine too. I've never seen that trend, but I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok. So, the OG Romans were black and dark brown, and Jesus looked almost Turkish. Yeah. It was like Middle Eastern. Yeah.
Firebrand, dogmatic, judgmental, homophobic vibe of Christian, flavor of Christian, if you will. I grew up with a Catholic nana, a very devout Catholic nana. She was a very interfaith woman. She used to be in this Catholic Mothers League, and they used to hang out with the Jewish Mothers Association, and they would go and, you know, hobnob together. My nana met my girlfriend. I'm bisexual for anyone who's new around here. My nana met my girlfriend and, you know, let my girlfriend stay in her house. The most homophobic thing my nana ever did as a devout Catholic woman was to introduce my girlfriend as my friend to some of our family friends who, you know, didn't know about my sexuality. That's literally it. And that rubbed me up the wrong way a little bit. But if you think about how devout she was, that's pretty fucking progressive, you know, to allow my girlfriend to come and meet her and stay and be there for the New Year celebration, which was a big thing in my family. So yeah, she never talked to me about hell. She never, you know, lectured me about abortion or anything like that. But she was a deeply, deeply, deeply devout woman. There were images of Christ, the saints, and Mary everywhere in the house. Like I said, my own partner is Christian. We just went to some Greek Orthodox churches when we visited his homeland of Cyprus, and he was praying, kissing icons, all that kind of thing. And he is the coolest motherfucker on the planet. So I suppose I have been privileged to be able to see Christianity in other ways and to kind of like, you know, to meet chill Christians. I've never only known Christians as my attackers, as people who judge and condemn me. So I think it's understandable that for witches that have not had my kinds of experiences, they're going to feel perturbed, okay? They're going to get their backs up immediately. And I think that's very much understandable. Just a few thoughts to round things off. Like I said, she was very, very vague in her testimony. I've watched a shitload of testimonies of this nature at this point, and people are usually very, very rich with the detail of how they ended up coming to Christ and what the whole scenario was. Alex hasn't done that at all. It was a very vague testimony, which is interesting. She kind of breezes over the details quite a bit, but maybe she decided to pull back on the details because she did not want to seem preachy. She really wanted to come out the gate with like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not here to try.
But I feel like it's kind of weird that she doesn't want to talk about her journey of how she became Christian. Because, like, I feel like maybe there's something wrong in there, you know? Because wouldn't she want to talk about how she found Jesus or something, you know? Like, I don't know. Whatever happened to love thy neighbor? Yeah. All right, I'm not going to watch, like, all this, but you guys can check it out. All right, so the other thing that I want to watch at some point, but like we've been going for 2.5 hours, and I know I don't want to go like too long here today, so let me just stupid browser. At some point I wanted to watch some of these videos that she's done on the witches to Christians thing, because they're good. How to be a real witch, serious magic. Christian ex-witches lie about us. These videos, these ones are really good. She finds like a TikTok where Christians are like saying some stuff that like actually doesn't make any sense. And like most witches, the majority of them are like clearly they're pretending that they were a witch. Like they're just doing it for the TikTok, right? So these are good videos that she does. Now I wonder if there's one that she talks about Christian witches, and I wouldn't mind watching that too. Here's the Christian ex-witches again. These are good videos. Okay, prayer. Do witches pray? Okay, not everything is a sign. Being a YouTuber is all plain sailing. Yeah, honest witchcraft. Witch talk, drugs, cultural appropriation, and more. Okay. There's more ex-witches videos here. I wonder which video it was. I'm gonna have to look through, I think, my watch history on my main account and see which one it was, because it was pretty good. I really liked, she was talking about like the different kinds of witches, that we should be open to different practices and stuff. And I'm kind of like, yeah, actually, like she made a really good argument for it all, and I really liked it. So I'll have to find it, but I'm thinking like we could watch some of these Christian ex-witches together too on another video. I just don't want to get into it because it's going to take us a while to do. Let's see. All right, there's a bunch of stuff here. The missing information could be critical to judging the story. Yeah, I feel like there is something there, like honestly. Okay, how about, because I wouldn't mind just like going another half an hour, just to kind of like top up the 3 hours. How about we look at one of the Christian ex-witch videos. We'll just kind of like watch a couple of them, and we just won't watch the whole video. We'll just kind of watch some of the TikToks, and you guys can see like sort of the stuff that she does, because they're fun videos. I like
Welcome
them.
back, my blasphemous babes. Thank you for joining me for yet another episode of Christian Ex-Witches. This is a series on my channel where I, a real witch of almost 2 decades, marvel in confusement, amusement, and horror as people who left the craft proceed to spew a lot of misinformation about it now that they are bathing in the judgy light of.
Do you want to know how delusional I was when I was in the occult, New Age, and witchcraft? I literally believed that I was a goddess. So many people in New Age believe that they are a goddess from a past life incarnated on the planet for such a time as this. They believe that. They believe that they are in control of every little thing in their life. They think that there's no God that has a hand over their life because they are the God and the writer and the creator of their lives. Do you know how much responsibility that is and how delusional that actually is? Knowing that there's a God that I can submit to is so freeing, because I don't have to have the answers to all of it. I don't have to spiral out when things don't go my way and check my energy to see what could be wrong with me. I don't have to have my chakras aligned or some past life regression because something didn't go my way. I just know that God has a different plan than what I had in mind, and that's okay. It is freeing.
Okay, so this person says that she literally believed that she was a reincarnated goddess and that lots of people in the New Age, witchcraft, occult world believe that kind of thing. I actually, on my travels, have never met a single person that believes that. But
Yeah, like, so some of these witches that she featured, or some of these people that she features, I do believe that some of them were witches. Like, I think that they probably were raised Christian or Catholic, then they explored the occult and tried to be a witch. But they're like, their idea of a witch and what they think a witch is like stuff in the movies. And they don't properly research any of the religion, any of the belief structures, anything like that. And they just kind of base it off some like Hollywoodized version of this stuff, right? And so someone like this, because I have talked to some people who act like this. Throughout my life, I've run into some. And they definitely didn't do any work. They just saw something, they wanted to roll with it, and it's like they're just role playing. Like they're just playing make believe, right? So sure, she didn't get what she wanted out of it, because magic isn't like magic. It isn't like Hollywood magic. It's like prayer, right? So a lot of times those people like, oh, this didn't work fast enough, or this didn't work, and it's like, okay, but like it's not literal. Like you're not literally channeling a goddess, like, come on, Anyway, but yeah, so she's going to kind of talk about here. Scarlet Grey Witch, yeah, I saw your email, so I can check out those things after as well. Yeah. It's a good practice to check your energy, not for new age reasons, because some of us have anxiety. Yeah, exactly.
Go off, I guess.
Your arrogance offends me.
Maybe she was a part of some kind of community that had those kinds of notions, and maybe they encourage those kinds of notions in each other. I'm just saying that it's not a common thing that I have come across, right? We're not chock full of people that believe that they're like the second coming of Isis or reincarnated Isis, because actually we're chock full of people that believe in Isis. Isis is still around, right? So it'd be quite weird to say, oh, I'm reincarnated, because the gods do not need to reincarnate. They are living. So that makes very little sense. But like I said, she could have been part of a community that had those kinds of notions. Who is to say? There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot to see. I definitely haven't been around all of it, and that is by choice, quite frankly. I do think that I would actually rather believe that I am a god than to be submitting to a god. She used the word submit, and it's true that I don't really like the idea of submitting to anything or anyone. So I'm glad that's working for her, but it would not be working for me. She also said that she is glad that she no longer has to realign her chakras or do a past life regression every time something didn't go her way. I feel like if she was doing a past life regression whenever she was a bit upset about something or something didn't go according to plan, she's definitely best off out of that spirituality and in Christianity, where things are very much more like straightforward in terms of what you do when things go wrong. Because doing past life regressions as a response to any failure or disappointment is wild. That is hardcore. I think anything like that is just...
Yeah, I feel like Christianity and Catholicism and stuff is really built for someone who just wants someone to guide them, and they don't explore themselves and their psyche and their, mental health and stuff on their own. Like it seems like a very guided thing, right? You sent the Spotify? Okay, cool. Yeah. Like Mel Gibson's movie, basing your faith on one thing is scary. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It sounds to me like she is someone who has difficulty regulating herself emotionally. Maybe she struggled with boundaries throughout her life. Yeah. Which is the thing. I mean, if you're going to get into like this kind of religion, this kind of belief structure, you're going to be doing a lot of work on yourself. You're going to be doing a lot of work in general, researching. You're going to be making sure that, you're covering everything off. And it's a more complex belief and more work for you, because most of us nowadays, like the majority of us, are solitary practitioners, honestly, because I've tried covens. I know other people I know have tried covens, and they always someone in the coven is like power hungry every freaking time, and it breaks it all up, So with you being even a solitary practitioner, I mean, if you can find a coven, that's amazing. That's great. But a lot of us are solitary practitioners, and as solitary practitioners, there's a lot more work involved in some of our ceremony and things like that. So yeah,
it's too much, right? So maybe she did require a little bit more simplicity, a little bit less of the buffet table of what witchcraft and new age and etc. can give you. Maybe for her it's better to just like tone it down, because she was pulling out the big guns for no reason at all. Also, for anybody who is new around here, okay, I know that she said that she was part of witchcraft, occult and new age. They all do this shit. So get used to it. All right. Buckle up, because they all fail to make any distinction between witchcraft and new age. And they all pretty much say witchcraft, new age, the occult, like it's all the same. They squidge it together like a bunch of fucking dough. It's just a big dough ball of stuff. They make no distinctions at all, which is one of the many reasons why people in the comments are often saying, this is some bullshit. This person wasn't doing anything of the sort, because they haven't made any distinctions. And of course we know witches very much make a distinction between witchcraft and the new age. So it sounds a little funny on our trained ears, doesn't it, when people go, I was into witchcraft and new age, all that stuff, and it's like, okay, that's not very common either. But again, pop off, darling, pop off, queen. I think this person is just going with the tired old line that like people like us we're not humble, we are arrogant, we think we're goddesses, we think we can solve everything every problem. We think we have all the cosmic almighty power, and it's just not the case. I feel like a lot of the time that's what people were looking for when they made a wrong turn to come and hang out with us. And then they realize, like, oh, that's not what it's actually about. There is a lot of work to be done, and there are a lot of things to be confronted. And then they jump ship, to be honest with you, when they.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of it too is. There's like a lot of shadow work, sort of, some like full shadow work and some like shadow work. And you got to work through a lot of your demons and issues, right? It is a part of witchcraft. It really is. And I can see people being like, that's too hard or that's too much work. I'm going to go back to the church. Right. And that makes sense. You know, can I base my faith on Ghostbusters? Honestly, you can. Like, honestly, you can believe in anything. Like, let's be real. Have you seen the goddess that we call her a goddess or a cult leader, the lady in pink that does those like weekly things for making it through the week, and she does like a cute little song and stuff? There's people that are like worshiping her and saying that it's a pink cult, and it's really cute. It's just a joke, but you can literally, yeah. She even sometimes wears a pasta thing on her head. It's really funny. And she talks about ramen too. It's funner to just be a friend group, call yourself a coven. Yeah, like if you do it with friends, because I mean, when I was younger, yes, we did it as friends, as teenagers, because we had a large, social circle to build off of, right? So it makes sense to do when you're younger and you have a bunch of friends and you're just doing it as friends. When you get older, you'll find that you don't have those people and you're like trying to find a coven. Because you enjoyed it when you were younger. At least this is my story. And then you try joining these covens, and there's always someone in it that ruins it for everyone. So, Angel ending was terrible. Yeah, I can't remember the ending, but I think I do remember that I didn't like it. Yeah. Do people do it with therapists then, or do you have to do it by yourself? I personally say to involve a therapist, because you don't know how bad off you are yet. Like, in my opinion, I would do therapist first, figure out like where you stand. Do you have a lot of issues you need to work through? Like, before you get into shadow work on your own, like kind of talk to a therapist. They'll probe you. They'll kind of figure out like where you're at. Right. And if you think that you're sort of in a healthy place to tackle more of the stuff outside of therapy, then you can do like your own shadow work. Right. But shadow work it can drudge up like childhood traumas and stuff. Like, it can mess people up. I really don't recommend that people do it if they don't know what they're doing. I do recommend therapy first. And I've done a ton of therapy. Like, therapy is good. It's a good thing. So yeah. If I was a witch, my coven would be my cat and 2 gerbils. Well, I mean, doing the craft with animals is a pretty common thing. Yeah. My therapist was floored by shadow work. Then I explained the cord cutting. He was impressed, tied to witchcraft to psychology. Yeah, I mean, shadow work is literally therapy, but like if you're doing it on your own, you don't have someone there in the event that you hit a really bad memory or something comes up. Like, ideally, you want a therapist there to help you work through it, because you're not a therapist, right? And you definitely don't want to like have some guru that you met on TikTok, because they will mess with you. Not safe. It's not safe. Yeah. There might not be active participants, but they're still there in spirit. Yeah. Pastafarians unite. Yes, exactly. Don't forget the doggos. Yeah. There are pop culture witches. Yeah. I mean, honestly, what's her name? Patty Negri or whatever, that's been on Ghost Adventures. She's kind of like a pop culture witch, like a whatever. She's more about the showmanship, Is it bad I always practice alone? No. Like, honestly, the majority of witches, like percentage wise, it's mainly solitary practitioners. There's not many that have a coven. There might be some that have like a friend that they practice with sometimes, but most of the time you practice alone. Like, you're not going to contact your coven or your friend every time there's a full moon. You're not going to contact them every time you need to kind of do something for yourself, right? So like, it's very common to practice on your own. Yeah. Yeah. I moved around a lot, so I became solitary about 30 years ago. Yeah, I became solitary. Like, I did a lot of solitary stuff. I was leading, I guess, the coven when I was a teenager because I knew more. So I did a lot of solitary stuff outside of that too. Then we met with the coven. Like, we would do like the full moon rites and stuff, and like different holidays and stuff, just to like, kind of do it as a group and have a bit of fun with it. So yeah.
Realize it's not going to be like the version of things that they had in their heads. So I think it's a bit of a projection often when people are like, I thought I was a goddess and I thought I could take control of everything and I thought I had the power. And it's like, okay, but that's like not what we all think. That's what you wanted to believe or what you were looking for. You didn't find it and now you're disparaging us. Very unsportsmanly. We don't like that, okay? It's like I say at the beginning of these episodes, like, leave quietly and leave us in peace. Come on now.
Why are so many people turning to Christ from the New Age and the occult? I'm Angela. I'm a former witch turned Jesus lover, and I'm the best person to answer this question because I was a witch who built an over $1 million a year business on social media.
I have literally never heard of her. She doesn't exist.
Why are people running away from the New Age? Well, it's really simple, my friend, and I pray that you are here because you are interested in Jesus. The entire occult is built on me. I can do it. I believe it. I can create it. I am responsible for my future. That is not only completely exhausting, but it's impossible. It's never going to happen. Everyone's realizing that now. We not only can't do it, but we don't have to do it.
Hang on a second, hang on. She made the ludicrously generalized statement that the entire occult is built on me. I can do it. I believe it. I can create it. Me, I.
It's all about me.
She's saying that everything that people do basically in the occult is about themselves. And everything also is for them to work out, presumably with no help from mentors, books, gods, guides, resources.
Like, you're going to do the work to work on yourself. Sure. You would do the same if you were in therapy, but like, you don't make everything happen. Like, you reach out to spirits, gods, deities, whatever energies to get some help. Like, you're not doing it on your own. And yeah, you can have mentors, you can have books, you can have research. Like, it's really not, like, I understand where this woman's saying it's exhausting. Sure. Like, if you came from Christianity, yeah, it's a lot of work. I get that. But it's not just you on your own solely. Like, that's your decision to have taken it that way, I have to go change the gerbils beddings. Yeah, no worries, Katie. Zombie, my friends weren't into what I was when I was confined, and a friend, she told the others, they pretty much judged me. Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry. Why is your income what makes you an authority? No, it's time and study. Yeah.
Lineage of traditions or anything like that. None of this is true. This is ridiculous. We have a lot of help. We think about a lot of things just besides ourselves and what we want. There's so much stuff going on in this area of things. You can't make this kind of blanket statement. So that, for one, I definitely resent. There is actually a lot of that in Christian ex-witch testimonies and stuff. This whole idea of like the occult is me. And if I can dream it, I can be it. And it's all on me and I'm responsible for it. And me. Yeah, it could never cover the entirety of everything that we do, but let's just continue.
Human life was never designed to be done without our creator God. Jesus paid it all. He paid for you and he paid for me, which means we don't have to pay it all. We get to surrender and trust and believe and have faith and let him take care of everything. Why am I getting so close when I have this microphone? That's the reason I got it, so I can back up.
Okay, so like, I've always thought this from a young age, even about like AA, right? Like, you're giving yourself up, you're giving your autonomy up to God. Like, sorry, neighbors. I never really understood that because, like, if you're an addict, I'm just going to compare this by AA because this was always since I was young, I've always thought this. If you're an AA and the only way that you can quit drugs is by giving yourself up to God and letting him take the wheel, in my opinion, isn't that saying that you're not taking responsibility for what you did? You're not going to try to work on yourself. You're just hoping that a God will fix you. Like, I never understood that about AA because there are steps then later where you have to like go apologize for the things that you've done, right? So it's like, okay, you're atoning, but you're really still not recognizing that your addiction is your addiction and you need to work through it. Like, God isn't going to just fix it for you. Like, I've never really understood this. I don't understand this whole give yourself up to God thing. I feel like that, to me, is more offensive than letting me decide my path and letting me decide who or what energy is going to help me. Like, just, I don't know. Yeah. The selfish crap is BS. Yeah, I don't think it's selfish. And I think maybe she's getting confused. I think it's like, we want our autonomy. Most witches, we're very much about our autonomy, right? And Christians are very much about giving themselves up to God. And we're like, we don't want to do that, you know? In fact, being a pagan and witch makes me more concerned about the environment and other public issues. It does. Yeah. That sounds like the prosperity version of Christianity. Yeah. Christians are greedy and self-centered as well. This is, again, the we are correct, you are wrong BS. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they're like, oh, you know, God, love, Jesus, blah, 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 but you are wrong and you're the devil. It's like, okay, why don't you just like preach about like why Jesus is good or why God is good without judging people? Like, can you do this without judging anyone? Because that's the problem with Christianity. I think there's a lot of judgment, right? And that was incorporated into the scriptures as well as hell to scare people into listening to what the church told them to do, because they were trying to control the people, right? This is the early Christianity. People, they became illiterate. They didn't know how to read and write. People weren't allowed to read the Bible themselves. They weren't allowed to question scripture. The priest wouldn't even, you're not allowed to look him in the eye, like the old world Catholic stuff, right? They wanted to control everything. And the churches controlled the majority of the wealth, and then the churches controlled the king. They really did. So like, it was about controlling the people, you know? And we kind of lost, I mean, it's greed and power, right? But kind of losing the whole message of like, love thy neighbor and all that crap, you know? Yeah.
If you are coming out of the new age, if you're still in the new age and you are
oh, and God gave us free will, right? So like, why are you preaching on people? That's their free will to decide what they want to do.
exhausted, you are burnt out, you have realized that what you were sold about this manifestation mindset, it's mind control. It's you believing someone who sold you a lie. And I know that because I sold a lie. I mean, I believe the lie that I sold, but I still sold a lie. God wants you to turn all over to him. He's got it. He'll take care of you.
Cece Suarez did a great deep dive on this woman here. Okay, I'll have to take a look for it. I do like listening to Cece Suarez stuff sometimes. The ritual happens whether people died is truth or exaggeration. They're still doing it for every Brit living on the island. May say it worked. Hitler. Oh, the World War II thing. There was, both sides were doing a cult practice. They were throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. Like, the Nazis were doing it and we were doing it. So yeah.
Give your life to him and he'll set you free. You don't have to do everything that you've been told you have to do.
Okay, so she said that Jesus paid it all, presumably by being crucified. And that means that we don't have to pay it all. We can just surrender and trust and have faith.
Why do all their voices sound the same, like soft, quiet, low pitch? And why do they all come across as fake auditioning stars? That is on purpose. Like, they're trying to do a soft, feminine, trad wifey kind of voice to like kind of come across like good and godly, and like they just want the better for you. Like, they are putting on an act. Like, this isn't them, right? All of them kind of talk like this, including if you look at all the trad wife content, same thing. So it's crazy. Yeah, I'll have to find the CC Suarez thing after. I wonder, is she covering this lady for the whole video? No, it switches to this lady. Okay, we'll finish listening to this and then I'm going to wrap up the stream. Yeah.
Faith and let him take care of it. But the thing is, he's not taking care of it, is he? There's actually a lot of stuff. There's a few bits and pieces here on planet Earth that JC is actually not taken care of for whatever reason. Currently, the Christian God and no other God really is taking care of the atrocities and the injustices happening in various places throughout the world.
You look out the window of Starfleet headquarters and you see paradise. Well, it's easy to be a saint in paradise.
He's not paying anybody's bills. He's not creating more affordable housing. He's certainly not nursing our sick relatives. There's a lot of stuff that we do need to take responsibility for, and we need to find the power and the motivation and the strength and the daring to be able to do that. that. So I suppose my point is it's a bit wild to say, I think, that once you believe in Jesus, you can just sit back, relax, and let him take care of everything. That just sounds so slovenly and so detached from what is going on in the world. And that's one of the problems I always have with this brand of Christianity.
Like, so God gave us free will. Jesus died for our sins, for us to do free will and like whatever we're doing, right? Like, so why would we give ourselves up to Jesus to live our life and make our life happen? We're supposed to be the ones with free will to make our life happen. Like, it just, the reasoning makes like no sense to me. I never really understood this. I guess is it like an evangelical thing? I'm assuming it's an evangelical thing.
Actually also don't think that it is a good reason to convert. It sounds very self-interested. I'm pretty sure Jesus said a lot of things about being self-interested and about making sure that you take care of people and do good deeds and all that kind of jazz, you know? I don't think that you're just supposed to convert to Christianity and then take a fucking load off and just wait for all of your problems to be solved.
People want me to do everything for them, when what they don't realize is they have the power.
I'm not sure that's quite how it works, to be honest with you. I think you're supposed to use Jesus as your example of how to live your life. The way that she's positioning it is like, oh, just sit back and relax. JC's got the wheel, you know, he'll handle everything. And it's like, yeah, I'm not really into this. It sounds like a major shirking of some of the most important work that I think human beings can do. And I don't think that's actually very Jesus-like from what I've read. I think you're supposed to take part in civic responsibility as somebody of a religious faith or a spiritual path. I think that's a very good thing to do. And I think it's obvious that you're still going to have problems, whether you're a witch or a Christian or anything else, and you are going to need to take some responsibility for those problems. I don't think it's personally healthy to imagine that God or any God is just going to swoop in and take over. It's definitely not what my gods want me to think or how my gods want me to operate. And I think that's healthier. She makes it sound like you literally convert and then you stop striving and then God just puts you on his back and takes you over the finish line. And I think that that is very, very disingenuous, and it sounds like the selling of false hope. She also said that if you give your life to God, he will set you free and that you don't have to do everything that you've been told to do. Unless you're part of a tradition within witchcraft and the occult, no one's really telling you what to do over here either. Like, who the fuck is telling me what to do? Absolutely no one. It's actually much more, I think, large parts of the Christian framework where people get told what to do. There's actual doctrine. There are actual expectations from the church. There are actual Bible passages that you have to follow and all that kind of thing. There's commandments. It's way more apparent that Christianity is the framework that tells you what to do. And like I said, unless you're under the umbrella of a strict tradition and you have confirmed that, yes, I want to do things under that umbrella, I think it's actually, you know, witchcraft that is more freewheeling and you can do as you see fit. I'd argue there's a lot more hard and fast rules with Christianity. So that's also selling something that's not the case. Also, before I move on, can I just say, this woman said that she had $1 million a year business selling people the idea that they could manifest their reality, that they could get what they wanted with magic and stuff, and that was a lie, that she was selling a lie. And I would actually agree that she was selling a lie. I'm not sitting here as a witch being like, oh, that's not a lie. Why would you say that? No, I do think she was shilling a lie. I don't trust anyone actually in the spiritual community who sells manifestation advice and tells people that their destiny is completely down to them to decide, because I think it really ignores issues of systemic oppression, socioeconomic differences, and all those kinds of things. I don't think it's very real world. I don't think it's very fair. And I don't enjoy actually those kinds of teaching. So I also would agree that her business model sounded a bit shady before. People's lives are blighted by systemic oppression. And if you're not talking about that, then I don't really want to hear it. But just because she was teaching that kind of manifestation mentality, right? And that like you control everything in your destiny. And if you're fucking up, it's because you're not holding the right vibration. Just because she was selling that doesn't mean everybody in the magical and witchcraft world is selling that or believes it. I certainly don't.
Hello, children of God.
Okay. I'm going to wrap it up here, but I do just want to add to this. If she was selling manifestation stuff, like if Sweet Goth was in here, she would immediately, I'm like, okay, it's a grifter. There are tons of these manifestation coaches and spiritual coaches, and they're just selling BS stuff. They're almost like an MLM, like they're almost like a pyramid scheme. Almost, but they like recruit people and then they train people to be manifestation coaches, and then they find more people and then they become manifestation coaches. It's like a whole horrible business model that doesn't really have real customers, right? It is a grifty business model. The fact that now she is going at Christianity content just makes me think that she's pivoting for the current climate and the people that you're around, and she's pivoting to sell Christianity coaching again. Like, this all just feels like a coach, someone who is selling coaching stuff, but they hide it behind manifestation. They hide it behind like spiritual enlightenment and all that crap. So yeah, just that screams like grifter to me, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this one here. You know, we could also, I know people want me to cover like spiritual healers, because I saw that you said that in there too, Glitter. Like, we could do that on the next stream. We could, like, because I have like a bunch of them listed, we could just take a look at some spiritual healers and just like commentary on it and whatever, like, because I wanted to do these streams, I wanted to pick like topics, right? So I think it might be interesting to do spiritual healers, because I want to do videos on ones that aren't church related. So maybe we can do church related ones on stream together. And then when I do like a deep dive or a video or something like that, or even a dip video or whatever, I'm going to cover the ones that are like the new age spiritualism stuff, because that's what I grew up in. And that's sort of like my wheelhouse, right? But I know a lot of people have asked me to cover a lot of Christian ones. So it might be more interesting to cover it together in a live stream. So that's what I'm thinking we'll do next. Yeah. These people all worship the mighty dollar. Yeah. They all twist shit. Exactly. They really do. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up here, because we went for about 3 hours, which is pretty long still. But I want to thank you guys for coming out to the stream and hanging out with me. And yeah, so I think last week we did a stream on Friday and it was like pretty busy. So, did you see the medium of pets? A lot of people have been sending me that stuff. And like, to be honest, I don't have any interest in covering it, because, not to be mean, it's dumb. Like, I've seen a lot of them. There used to be a show back in the day in the 90s. Like, it's just dumb, because it's the easiest thing to grift. You just tell people like whatever. Oh, your pet is thinking about this. Like, it's I don't know how to pick it apart other than saying like, come on, you know. I know a lot of people have sent me medium pets. It's just like, it's just not an interest of mine. But you know, like, we could I don't know, we could maybe cover it in like a live stream. If you guys are here talking about it with me, it might be more entertaining. Have you seen Hannah the Horrible's latest video about manifestation nonfiction series? No, I have it saved. I need to watch that, actually. And actually, my video coming out, I know I've been like so behind and just so much crap going on in life, and I'm really, really trying. This video is almost done. I just need to add some music and adjust some audio. But if you look at Hannah the Horrible's last video that she did on the GATE program, I also am doing a video sort of like as a reaction and inspired by hers, and it's going to have like clips from her video, because I did have experience with some of this stuff when I was growing up, and so I made a whole video on it. And I talk about like short form content psychosis a little bit, kind of talk about like the issues going on with short form and TikTok and everything. So that will come as well. As an animal behaviorist, I can cover that. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Like I have rescued cats my whole life, so I can kind of like eye them out and figure out what's going on. Horses, similar. I grew up with horses. They're like dogs. Dogs, I know they're like body language and stuff. So like I can kind of like guesstimate with those animals, but like outside of those animals, I don't really know body language for the other ones because I haven't learned them. So yeah. All right. Nathan Fillion went to a pet psychic. Yeah, of course he did. Yeah. I mean, she thinks he's a medium. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up here, but thank you guys for coming out, and we will check out the next one. I'll see how this week goes. Even like maybe I can like do another stream on Friday just to kind of like do one more in for the week or something. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.